The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Good luck.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Addicts Podcast, the show where we talk about the modern and retro video games we play and collect. I'm your host, Brando. Joining me here today, as always, is this podcast, Player 2 Mike.
Oh, hello.
And joining us today, very special guest, this podcast, Player 3, Tyler.
Hello.
We have a really cool episode today. Episode 55 on the docket today. Rolling right along with the episodes. We are nearing the 1-year anniversary of us going to video.
Yes.
I believe that was episode 14. Something like
Getting
that.
there.
It was the episode after Watch the Movie First.
Yes. Huh.
Yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about that as
We'll
we
be
go
talking
along.
about that game
Not
a
the
little bit.
first rant about that on this show. I'm going to try and keep it a little down. I'm not going to try and complain too much because I bought that game for a reason. Today we're going to be talking about our backlog as we get into the holidays. Of course, there's so many brand new games coming out. You know, gearing up for the holiday season. There's a new system on the market right now that's going through its first holiday season. We have a lot of new games, a lot of AAA games usually come out around this time of year. Your Call of Duties, your Battlefronts, Battlefields, your Assassin's Creed is back now. Now we have Mario Odyssey just launched. We have more stuff coming out before Christmas time hits.
And we also have a Switch is first time through the holiday season.
That's just what I said. But I didn't say Switch. I said a new console.
But Xbox.
Oh, okay.
With the
Okay,
Xbox One
too.
X, yeah.
All right. I'll give that one to you. I was meaning the Switch, but yes, the Xbox One X is going through its first holiday season as well. Reviewing well.
It is.
It is reviewing very well. It is outperforming the Pro every step of the way, which is we all kind of knew it would,
Right.
but not to the level of which we thought it was actually going to, as far as like smoothness. Everything seems to be going very well. Gears of War 4 is almost 100 gigabyte download or file size with the 4K. Same with there was another Forza.
Yep.
I think Forza's close to that. And then last week we talked about Quantum Break is 170 something gigabytes. That includes the TV show part of it though too. So the normal Quantum Break file size is like 8 gigabytes.
Right.
It cranks up the volume way past 11 for this one. But, you know, backlog is something that exists, especially if you're a collector, if you buy a lot of games, especially during sales, whether it's buy one, get one from Target, Black Friday. Amazon tends to have some sales going on around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that kind of, and it, honestly, and just in general, they usually have some games on sale. And then, of course, you have your flash sales, so digital stuff. But so we do want to talk about it. We're going to get to that. But first, what's everybody playing? Breath.
Right now, I'm also playing Breath.
All right, because this week, normally we do pickups. I don't have a pickup. You don't have a pickup.
Nope.
Did you have a pickup?
I pretty much have nothing but pickups.
Well, I mean, okay, so you got to brand a few new games, and we could talk about one of them. I mean, you said you've been playing Breath.
Mhm.
I'm sure we all have something to say about Breath.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason why I wanted to jump with that is because normally it's like brand new pickups / what have you been playing? I haven't been playing shit. Nothing. Absolutely nada. I haven't had time. It has been go for me. I have rarely had a chance to sit down and play anything. I got to demo. I downloaded the full game Until Dawn. Did you ever play Until Dawn?
I have not played it yet, but I do have it downloaded, ready to go.
That was like a free game a few months ago, I think.
I think maybe in
August.
July or August, one of those two.
Yeah.
I downloaded the game and the theme, so and why not?
Good old text messages. Dick, we don't care, okay?
Wow.
All right. Our good buddy Blaine, Dr. Dongo, if you will, trying to sound cool, trying to sound like he is in with it, talking about the intro for a new show on the Journey to Comics Network, Brews with Dudes, sounding on fleek.
I can't support this.
No, I can't either. And you know what? These sons of bitches are getting muted.
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot do this.
The tribe has spoken.
Yeah, so of course you guys have been playing Breath. I haven't been playing anything. You went and did the Target buy two get one.
Yeah, Target. Pretty much I think the second half of October, and then as far as I know, it's still going on. Buy two get one free games and board games.
Yes, I saw.
So
games.
the first time I remember the first time I went was right around my birthday weekend, and I was just gonna run in there and buy Breath of the Wild. That's all I was gonna buy, and I ended up spending like $100+ on video games.
Yeah.
Buy two get one free. That's not necessarily a great. I mean, it would be a lot better if it was buy one get one, but still, you're getting potentially $60 to $80 worth of material for free.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I went back last week and did it again. So, or this past weekend and did it again. So
you did it again.
I did it again.
Okay, so the first time you got Breath of the Wild.
I got Breath of the Wild, Uncharted 4, and a board game.
Okay.
So I got a board game for my wife. Got to make her happy a little bit.
There
But
you go.
The equivalent of bringing home the roses
That's-
or a Harry Potter movie or
I don't do that at all.
Taco Bell.
I don't bribe my wife at all.
I think Taco Bell makes anybody happy.
Every single time I buy something, I bribe her. Every time. Honey, I spent $150. You did what? But I also got you this. Oh, it's so cute. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so this past weekend I got the new Call of Duty game. They've gone back to their roots, and I think that they're making the right decision, going back to their roots, going back to where they started. And Nazi Zombies is fun anyway. So even if I don't dive full into the multiplayer, played it a little bit. It's okay. It's a Call of Duty game. That format's been done over and over again.
Yeah.
When you see it, I mean, you shouldn't expect anything groundbreaking and new because it's the same format.
Yeah.
But I got the new Call of Duty. I got Wind Waker for Wii U, and then I also got Donkey Kong Country Tropical
That
Freeze.
was right. You did tell me about that.
Yep.
That is
So,
right. I had forgotten about that.
I have actually never played Wind Waker on any system, so
It's a good game.
this I'm excited. And it was relatively
Was it
inexpensive.
the art style?
No,
pushed it
I
back?
think it was just timing, because at the time I was so involved in so many other things. I think it just kind of got passed by happenstance.
We had talked today about how during the cube you kind of like drug your feet a little bit with Metroid Prime, but then you ended up loving it.
Yep.
And there is a
One of my favorite games.
2-pack, Metroid Prime and Wind Waker. How much is that, Mike?
$240
Yeah, it is.
If it wasn't $240, I would buy it. So
It is outrageous. It is pretty hard to find.
Super rare.
We've seen 2 copies of it just
Yeah,
within
and
the last year,
last
and that's
time I
how
saw
it
it
usually
was
goes.
240.
You never see it, and then you're like, see them all the time.
that's nuts.
But for me, Wind Waker, the reason why I slept on it, I didn't dig the art style. I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't like the cartoon style. But then when I picked it up, I got it for the Wii U before I bought it when I was collecting for the Cube.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it, and I fell in love with it.
At the time, when I was really involved with my GameCube, I was playing Pikmin over and over again, and I was playing Resident Evil 4. I bought a GameCube so I could play Resident Evil 4, because that was before it was released on the PlayStation.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
with Smash Brothers and everything, the GameCube is one of my favorite consoles ever.
Yes.
And just with everything going on at the same time, I think that's really what just happened. I just kind of forgot about it.
So my first Wind Waker was Mario Kart 8 just came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't own a Wii U, and my wife was like, "Yeah, I love Mario Kart. You can go pick it up." So I went and bought it. Well, Meyer and the West Side, when it just came out,
Mhm.
had one more Wii U Wind Waker edition,
That's
And
cool.
that's one of the like I was like, we got to buy this now because I'm never gonna find it new, and the price is just gonna skyrocket
Right.
once collecting hits and the Wii U dies off and nobody has one. That's what's gonna happen. So that's the first time I played it. And I loved it. I just didn't have it because in the GameCube era, I was right at I think when did Wind Waker drop?
I'm gonna wager 2003, Bob.
So on that note,
It's probably gonna be way earlier than that.
I don't think it's earlier than that.
I think it's middle of the life cycle.
That would be it, around
Yeah.
02, 03. Let's look at that, but keep going.
In 03, I was in the military and deployed. So when I had a cube, I bought Prime was like the first game I got, and then Double Dash. You can't have. I mean, that to me is one of my favorite outside of Mario Kart 8.
I loved Mario Kart Double Dash, and I also a game that's not that really wasn't played by that many people. Strikers. Mario Strikers.
The
soccer
Mario
game.
Oh, soccer game. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I played that.
My sister and I played the hell out of that game.
It was a good game.
Okay, so I was close.
What is it? 2002.
It is December 13th, 2002.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I was thinking 03.
I thought it was a little bit later than that.
So at that time, I was in training. So.
Did you graduate in 02?
Yeah.
So you went right out of high school.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Like, walked out the door, walked across, walked down the road, put in, and left, pretty much.
Alrighty. So, there's a problem with the Switch.
Is it the problem I've been having?
I didn't know that you've been having a problem.
The left Joy-Con goes dead.
Well, okay, that's
It's
actually
dead. It doesn't receive the signal. Like
that's actually a noted problem with the Switch.
Yeah, I've actually moved my Switch, as I point and nobody else can see it other than you guys. I moved it from next to the TV where the blue cable is. I moved it all the way over here next to the Pip-Boy because it's literally right where I game and I still lose it. Even when I'm not blocking it, it just drops. So...
Dead stick.
It's every time. And then I have to, like, stop, let go of everything.
I would look up because I know they had an issue with that.
Yeah, but...
Definitely frustrating.
There's nothing I can do about it unless I buy like an updated Joy-Con once they come out. Like maybe they fixed it, but it's on a newer Joy-Con. I would have to buy a new Joy-Con to fix that.
You can buy the red ones.
Yeah, but they're also $40 a piece.
They are.
So if I'm going to do that,
Okay.
I'm going to buy...
You can buy a full pack. You can get a cool...
Yeah.
Collector's edition ones.
Well, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a specific one. Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That one comes out, I'll probably be buying a shitload of stuff.
All right. So the problem I'm talking about is the problem with space, and apparently, for example, like LA Noire comes out pretty soon. By the time this episode drops, it might already be out, if not right around this time. It's going to be about 29 gigabytes, and so it barely fits on the little Wii U game card.
Yes.
Those hold 32 gigabytes. And it's going to be updated. There's going to be a big update fixing bugs, glitches, all that kind of stuff. And well, that update, if I remember correctly, is like 5 to 7 gigabytes. That goes over your system memory of 32 gigabytes. So you are going to need expanded memory, which was something that we all knew was going to be a problem. Now, that's if you download your games. If you have the game card and you have like a few gigabytes to spare, that's fine. But if you download exclusively, which for mobile things or for just in general nowadays, they really encourage people to download. If you download your games, you are going to be hurting for space.
Yes.
So, there's this little story came out because Nintendo has banded up with SanDisk.
He's trying to sneak a pet to the dog meat.
Nintendo's banded up with SanDisk to release a officially licensed micro SD card for the Nintendo Switch. Pretty cool, awesome.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
I mean, Nintendo's reaching out to these to some of these makers and like, hey, let's partner up here. Let's get this going because obviously people are going to need this. Well, the problem is that the Nintendo branded ones are way more expensive versus the exact same make of card
Yep.
that you can get. So the SanDisk 64 gigabyte micro SD card on Amazon probably runs you about 20, 23, 25 bucks.
I bought mine for 14.
14?
For a 64.
Yeah, I was gonna say $26 might sound a little bit on the super high side.
Conservatively.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that same gigabytes amount of gigabytes for the Nintendo Switch licensed is about $100.
Wow.
That's not even a small jump.
No, that is gigantic.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe if it was 35 or $40.
No, that
Okay,
is
because
about-
there are some people that they don't want to buy, the Mad Cats
yes.
of the old days.
Right.
They don't want to buy things that aren't fully licensed and branded.
I get it, but if you know anything about SD cards, they're pretty interchangeable, especially when it's the same brand.
Right.
The only difference is that the officially licensed might be a little faster.
Right.
Now, same price. Same amount of space for a Samsung High Speed, which is what they're doing the SanDisk one for $100, about $30. So $70 cheaper. All right. Let's say you want some more space. Say you want 128 gigabytes plus the 32 on the system. That'll put you probably about 150 gigabytes, maybe 140. Pretty decent amount of space for your save games and a pretty decent library of games that you download there. I mean, you're going to have some big downloads, but then you got Mario Odyssey. It's only like 5 gigabytes or so. And like Breath of the Wild is only maybe 10, 13.
Right.
Not terrible. So the Samsung High Speed 128 gigabyte, $150. It's like half the price of the Switch itself. The Nintendo branded 128 SanDisk one is $200.
And you can buy SanDisk or another make, 128 gig, because I've been watching because I want to buy one. $80.
$8?
80.
Oh,
I was
$8.
gonna
I was gonna say that. Wow, $8.
But it usually
That's a
ranges.
hell of a sale.
Those usually range to, that's on sale obviously, but usually it's about 110 to 120 on Amazon right now because I've been really sifting through those.
Mhm.
So you're looking at 120. High speed's 150, which really $30 high speed. I might consider that, but $200 for the not high speed one because it says Nintendo on it.
I
No
do
thanks.
believe that is like the higher speed one. Those are the higher speed ones that they're doing for the licensed. But literally,
Still.
it doesn't really affect your performance that much. It's like going from a hybrid hard drive to a SSD.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a matter of maybe at most 6 to 10 seconds.
Right.
And I don't know about you guys, but I come from an era with the first disc-based loading games. It took forever. I remember buying, specifically, I'm calling this one out. It was the first SmackDown wrestling game for PS2. And the loading and saving took forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could go, take a crap, come back, it'd still be there. It would not move.
Yeah.
It took forever. So I understand that this is the era of people wanting things now. Get it done now. Boom. Why am I still looking at a screen? Why is it still loading? People are so impatient. But I think this is kind of ridiculous. Me and you, Mike, we just talked about how the cards are probably going to start coming down soon. And then the next day I read this or saw this in a video, whatever it was, and I was like, well, that is the exact opposite of what we thought.
Yeah.
This is not to a point, but like Sony, we talked about Sony, and for the PSP and for the Vita had proprietary memory cards. They were only made by Sony, so therefore they could control the price.
Yep.
You couldn't change it out. You had to do a XYZ. You needed that memory card. You needed more space.
Yep.
And you had to bite the bullet and get a card. To an extent, I feel like that pushed some people away. Because they're thinking, I need to put all the money down to buy this $200 Vita, plus another $80 to get X amount of memory.
Right.
Too much. And
I do like the workaround that people have found now that the Vita is no longer supported. If you get a 3G, people are tearing them apart, taking those wires, so basically soldering in a micro SD, and then you can put in however much memory you want at that point. Which to me, that's a fantastic idea, especially
Yes,
that it's now not supported. So now they're not going to be like, oh, you hacked it, shut it
Right.
off. Now they don't care.
You know,
Right.
I mean, people have been hacking the PSTVs for a while,
Right.
in a much different way. But yeah, with the only problem is that there's only so many 3G models out there.
And people now are selling them in the marketplace since this is going on for $200.
Yeah, so
I've seen three of
I
them.
imagine that they would shoot back up in price because I just have the Wi-Fi version. I didn't bother to get the 3G version.
I had a choice between the 3G or the Wi-Fi, and I went with the Wi-Fi because I have Wi-Fi
Yeah.
and we used it for like Skype and
Yeah.
Netflix and stuff. It's really cool
And then for the Slim, they didn't release a 3G version
Exactly.
on the Slim at all. So.
because that's what I got was a Slim.
hmm Yeah, so
My question is, which is it, SanDisk or Nintendo that's justifying this cost? Is it SanDisk saying, well, we're going to charge more for this because it's kind of an inconvenience? Or is it Nintendo?
I
you
would
know,
say Nintendo.
Logically, you would point fingers at Nintendo right away, but, I mean, do we know who is justifying this extra cost?
I'm going to say that it's probably SanDisk has the final say because it's their product.
Right.
Right.
Because it's officially licensed. That means Nintendo says, you do it, we'll approve it.
You can put our name on it.
You put our name on it, put our logo on it, and approve it. It's just like last week we talked about you had that controller, the Power A controller.
Yes.
It's an officially licensed controller from Power A. It's made by Power A. It's priced by Power A. The only say so that Nintendo has in it is, well, what are you putting on it?
Yep.
And then so they probably have to approve the art or whatever. Like, okay, cool, yeah, fine, yeah, oh yeah,
I'm
whatever.
really sad that they don't have the HD Rumble in that.
$30 could, $30 controller, like what
It's
it
good
do.
for Mario.
Yeah.
Mario Kart. I mean, that's pretty much what I bought it for. Is like if you want to come over and play Mario Kart together, you have an extra controller.
Right.
The Joy-Con, I like that Power A controller for Mario Kart for sure.
But for the official license, I would say that it would be SanDisk setting the price, saying, well, we have the Nintendo branding on it. We can charge it a little bit more for this. And how much do you want to bet that they're targeting very ignorant parents here? People who don't know their technology, people that, well, I got to buy the Nintendo one because it's for a Nintendo console.
And it says high speed on
And
it.
it says high speed. So then it's going to be up to the salesperson at Best Buy or a GameStop, wherever they're selling these, to push that on them because, number one, it's the higher priced. Number two, their store makes more money.
Yeah.
So
Well,
didn't you say? Sorry to interrupt. But
That's all right.
Didn't you say that Nintendo online is sold out?
the online store for Nintendo is sold out on those. So you can go to Amazon right now and buy the cheaper ones right now
Yeah.
for 64 gigabytes. Mike, you can go for $20 right now and get one. But like, why would you spend $80 more? I spend so much money in my freaking gaming collection. I have 800 and something fucking games in my collection, and you would be surprised how much money A, I have spent, and B, I haven't spent.
Yes. Yes.
I have made some excellent deals. You just made an excellent deal on that Xbox Get a while back for $50.
Oh yeah, I bought an Xbox 360 with a Kinect, and what was it like?
It was like 19 games.
19 games. for
Some of them were the
$50.
Kinect games, but he had a nice
Still,
little
I mean,
collection of them.
We had the 250 gigabyte. It was. I couldn't believe it when she did. Yeah, go ahead.
And then
like,
we
come
had
on.
the whole, like, the system is in Japanese. We can't figure out how to change the language.
That was interesting.
So it's like two chimps trying to do a math problem over here. We're trying to figure out.
And there's a
how to
light bulb involved somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, I'm a pretty cheap ass collector. I will spend the money when I want something.
Well, all of us are cheap ass collectors in general.
I will spend the money when I really want something. But for a memory card, I'm going to go as cheap as I can
So
while still getting a good quality product.
I said this today to you. I don't understand why somebody. I mean, people have torn apart a Vita and made a slot to put a micro SD card. Why hasn't anybody made a micro SD dock that plugs into a micro SD slot and added 4? Let's just say 4. Right now, if you did that, since Nintendo's not set to where you have to run this specific thing, you could literally plug that in, go spend $80 and get what? Like, what would that be? 120? That's 256 gigabytes for less than $100.
And actually, yeah, because if you're getting that much, you would probably spend $150, $200 just to get that size of memory. So,
I mean,
make it so. Number
Well,
two.
the
number
one question I would have is how fast would
You're getting blown up, sir.
how fast would Nintendo, or how quickly would Nintendo say, well, we don't sanction this, basically?
well, they can't really.
Not that they can, but you know,
They would have to. I mean, it would be. It's
there
straight
would be
hardware.
grumblings. Yeah.
There's no software involved as long as the dock read each, like they make now a dual card for the PSP where you can plug in 2 SSD cards or micro SD cards into it, plug it in, and only reads it as one memory. So they have a teeny tiny little one for the old Duo. You tell me that somebody can't make a dock?
Right.
I mean,
But that was the best thing about getting into the PSP again.
yes.
Is that you go on Amazon and I think I got like 32 something gigabyte micro SD card that plugs into a Shell Pro Duo stick. 32 gigabytes. You have all the memory you'll ever need.
Cool.
And then, like I said, they come out with a new dual side for it's like
Yeah.
$11 to $14, and you just pop in each side, slide in there, it reads it all as one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be some money to be made there.
Last bit of Switch news. Just released today, so a week ago if you're listening to this. So you guys are already enjoying this. Hulu app coming to Nintendo Switch today.
I'm waiting for Netflix.
Oh, hold on. This is good news because if Hulu's there, Netflix is going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo Switch is getting its first video streaming app today. Hulu has announced that its streaming app is coming to the Switch via the eShop. Hulu app is expected to go live, along with the rest of the eShop updates later today, just like on other platforms. Hulu app itself is a free download. You need to do the whole, you got a free trial, and you got your membership. You can do your base for $8, or you can go with like I think we did
No commercial.
No commercial for $12.
12,
They also have the Hulu with live TV. It costs $40 a month, so you get all the Hulu stuff that comes with that, plus some live TV channels for $40 a month. I know that AMC was trying to get on that because they were like, "You're the only one that we're not on," almost. So
Right.
let's try and make this happen. And then they already partner up with them for the Fear, The Walking Dead.
Right. So that'll probably happen.
But I thought that was very good news because we actually been talking about that. And we actually had a small debate on one episode. Does the Switch really need these, or is it a dedicating video game system? I argue that it kind of does because even if the large majority of people don't use it, you want that. You want them there.
You also get it to where if you have a choice between all the consoles for the money, the Switch is one of the best purchases right now, other than like the PS4 Slim or the Xbox One S.
Mm-hmm. One S is probably the way that I would tell people to go.
Yeah, but if you were saying like you grew up with a Nintendo, you're gonna go with a Nintendo. Most people that know Nintendo, they know that
Switch is on fire right now anyway. People want it.
So for me, I would say go with the Switch because one, it's portable. You could, as long as you got Wi-Fi, you can stream whatever you want.
And then you can also set it up in the plane.
Yep.
You can play and then go right to your game, or from your game to watching something. You can set it up, set back on that flimsy little kickstand it has.
I've seen a lot of people making new cases now. The only thing for me is like you won't be able to slap it in. You have to
Take it out of the
take it
case.
out of the case and do that stuff. But people are making selling better stands for them with like what is that? Not an OtterBox, but it's like OtterBox.
Life-proof.
It's like tough. Something.
Tough armor.
I remember
I think they got
seeing
one
the
of those.
flaps. It covers a screen and you fold it back. And you can fold them up to make like a little stand.
Yep.
Yeah, Caitlin had that for like her iPad.
I think
Pretty
that's
neat.
big for a couple reasons because with Hulu comes Netflix. We just talked about that, but also comes Disney streaming service.
Yes.
That's going to be coming. We'll say in
YouTube
the
as
next
well.
3 years. Yeah, and YouTube. Because once Disney pulls all their stuff off of Netflix and starts their streaming service, that's going to be a big money market right now.
Kids.
And
Sure.
We're in the days now where turn off your video game, we have to go to the store. Little Johnny walks over to his Switch, picks it up, gets in the back seat of the car, continues watching whatever he's doing. I mean, we already have that with tablets, but
But it's the convenience.
Yes.
Yeah, And we did argue like the necessity of it. It doesn't. A gaming system doesn't need it. All it needs to do is be a gaming system.
Right.
But everything nowadays has the ability to stream.
Yes.
Well, I think it's a better to have and not need than need and not have kind of
Exactly.
thing. Because if you didn't have it, the amount of people that would complain about not having it, I think would be more people, or more than the people complaining that it's on there.
I totally agree. I 100% agree with that. But yeah, dude, I'm really excited for the Switch. Even despite everything, there's a rumor that they're going to be coming out with a micro Switch. No pun intended.
So basically a cell phone?
Yeah.
Well,
So it's looking like cell phone with Joy-Cons on the side.
Yeah.
Well, because there was a poll out and they're looking at user data and how many people use their Switch in handheld mode, and they are currently still on the bandwagon of we are not giving up on the 3DS. The 3DS still has a life, but the 3DS, I mean, when was that released? 2011?
That sounds right. 2011 or 2012.
I don't know.
In
Right.
that time frame.
Yeah, all right. So it's 2017. We're going to go 2018. So that's like almost a 7-year-old console. It's time to bon voyage, send her off. You got a great life, great library of games. And in my opinion, focus completely on the Switch. Focus on, make it to where, this is your handheld, this is your console, depending on what we want to do with it, depending on what the makers want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want your awesome Nintendo handheld, it's here. If you want your awesome Nintendo console experience, it's here. You've suddenly made the Switch a very unique system.
Yes.
Where it's because a lot of people who like Nintendo obviously didn't buy a Wii U. Millions of them did buy a Wii U.
I'm one of the first, or one of the only ones that bought a Wii U.
I got a Wii U secondhand from Rob. He had
I guess
it.
I'm a new buyer. I bought it full price in the store.
I was gonna buy one full price, and then Rob's like, "I say the Wii U," and I said, "I'm on board with that."
Right.
I bought mine on sale on Black Friday, like year 2. So, and I've just recently hooked it back up.
Well,
Yeah.
what do we say on one of our podcasts? A lot of people didn't know what it was because you got the Wii and then the Wii U. So a lot of people thought it was an attachment.
It's a very terrible name. But what I'm saying is that with the lifespan of the 3DS got to be nearing its end, you can utilize your marketplace in, condense it to where it's Nintendo. Not, is this 3DS, is it Switch, what is it? It is Nintendo Switch. This is our product. You can because you can keep the 3DS out there maybe for another year. Depending on how long they want the Switch lifespan to be, you can phase it out and make it to where Switch is where you play.
Yep.
Whether it's your dedicated handheld games, whether it's your smaller handheld games, or whether it's your bigger console experiences, this system does both. And for me, if I was in control, if they said, "Brandon, you're in charge of Nintendo," and I said, "Awesome, this is what we're doing. We're killing the 3DS." Like, sales are great of that console, but like, why spend the R&D money releasing more models of that console when
Right.
you could be putting all your efforts towards one single goal? And
Which is on fire right now.
it is on fire, yes, and it's doing great, but then it's like 3DS first party slowing down on all developments going towards Switch anyways.
Yep.
I mean, they've already guaranteed a Pokemon Switch title.
That's big.
Main game, not Mystery Dungeon, not Coliseum. Main storyline entry, major entry, a Pokemon for Switch.
That's huge.
On a home console.
On a home console, it
never
would be the
happened.
first one to be able to be on a home console that you
Mhm.
didn't have to hook up via a Game Boy player or anything like
Right.
that.
Right.
So it's a big deal. So I see it happening, and that was just like the last thing for the Switch was like, I just kind of see it becoming the focal point and them killing off the 3DS. Like they don't want to say it because they don't want you to stop buying that, because they just announced a new 2DS bundle.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next thing that I brought up because I think last night before I went to bed, I literally saw that commercial.
It's the new Ocarina of Time.
Yep,
2DS.
that's what it was.
It is like the axe head slanted doorstop version of the 2DS, not the new 2DS XL, which you thought they would have done, having just released a brand new piece of hardware, release an Ocarina version of that. No, they did the old one. As much as Nintendo, every time they hit a home run, there's that fan from the Cubs game in 04 that reaches out and grabs the ball. Or right when they think, oh, we're gonna get this one. No. Here we go. No.
So you guys believe that the Switch is 100% Nintendo's horse in the race?
It should be.
That a year from now or 2 years from now, we're not going to be talking about the Switch being phased out for the Switch XL 9000.
Now, what I was talking about with the micro Switch or mini Switch Mini, is that they're seeing how many people play the game or play the console on just handheld, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what the talk is that maybe they're going to release a version of the Switch that is just handheld at a cheaper price with no removable Joy-Cons, and it's just and it's a little bit more portable.
So it's basically going to be the Wii U gamepad, just smaller.
Well, that's what the Switch is now. I mean, when you hold a Wii U gamepad, it's almost like holding a Nerf. Like
yeah.
It's like holding a Nerf pad compared to the sleekness of the Switch. But no, it would be a lot smaller. You would probably still have like the similar size of screen.
Okay.
Maybe you could go a little smaller, get away with it.
Smaller.
But you would have it to where it's ergonomically correct for the size. And then my thing is that like, would you still be able to dock it? And probably not.
I would say no.
But
if it's going to be primarily like they just want it to be portable, I wouldn't make it dockable.
Right. But then of course you could see a redesign of the Switch as far as them. All right, here's the Switch 2.0. We've made it a little bit quieter. It gets less hot. The dock is better. It doesn't scratch your screen anymore. The Joy-Cons have better connectivity. It's a bit slimmer now, so because we kind of harness the ability a little bit more. It's got a little bit more oomph in there to be able to run the games, and not much, but we're not running 4K here, but
right.
It's going to be able to. You're going to be able to go from process to process a lot faster. Probably. That's an update happen. Those do happen. I don't like the way Nintendo does them because they're confusing. But I mean, why would you name the revised 3DS the new 3DS? That makes it like you're purposely trying to confuse adults and techno idiots.
Yes.
At that point,
yeah.
When you're saying I'm here to get that new 3DS.
DSLI.
DSi.
DSi. Yeah.
Yes, I'm like DSLI.
I don't know why I said DSLI.
I'm like DSL was a delivery company.
The DSi. I mean, it went from the DS and then DSLI and the DSLI XL.
Well, it was the original DS, and then it was the DS, the smaller one. I can't remember what that one was called. The DS Mini, the DS, because it still played Game Boy Advance games.
Right.
And then you had the DSi, DSi XL, 3DS, 3DS XL.
Well, there were light models of some of those.
That was
correct?
DS Lite.
Okay.
Yeah,
DS Lite was
Lite.
the one that was the smaller one.
Yeah.
And then because the DSi took out the Game Boy Advance compatibility, but it added in like internet connectivity for you to be able to download some DSi exclusive games,
Right.
and be able to send PictoChat pictures to people.
Sorry.
You might have been
that
able.
was stupid.
I think you might have been able to do that from the original one, but I can't remember. My first DS was the DSi XL. I had the big ugly bronze one. It was just brown. But
I found this in the mud.
yes.
Look what I've got.
But my first, that was the first time I was playing Pokemon Gold remake. I was able to finally move up and say there are 100 more Pokemon. Because when I was a kid, I played the crap out of the original 3, or red and yellow, whatever.
Right.
Then they said we got 100 more, and I'm like, those look completely stupid. I'm not playing that game. And I did not play a single one again for another 10 years until I played Gold, or the remake Gold Silver, and then played the crap out of it and loved it. Thought it was awesome. I thought it was really cool, but there was a little bit of Xbox something because Phil Spencer was made higher up exec at head of Microsoft Gaming, not just Xbox. And of course, with the Xbox One X coming out, that is the revised version of the Xbox One that runs 4K gaming. It does 4K video. It's pretty much your $500 4K player.
Yeah.
If you're really into your picture and into your 4K stuff, if you want a 4K video player and gaming device, that's it. I mean, you look no further because it's going to run games better than the PS4 Pro.
Yep.
It's going to run, it's going to do everything better. It is $100 more than a PS4 Pro.
Hopefully we don't have an overheating problem.
Hopefully not. It is significantly smaller, and the power supply is built into the console. No more power brick. Very first time in years.
Yeah,
no Xbox power brick.
God.
Makes
You
it
can kill people with that damn power brick.
I know, dude.
Yeah, you
Just
can.
swing it around, just whack people with it. But there was something that was said that Phil said that we want to focus on more exclusives, maybe looking at acquiring some studios. Funny because we had quite a few Xbox One exclusive titles that have been canceled. I'm trying to remember what was the damn name of the Dragon Scale?
Dragon Scale or
Scalebound.
Scalebound. There it is.
Yeah, I was excited for that one.
It looked cool.
I'm a big fan of anything that involves riding dragons. So when I saw that, I mean, at times I kind of get tired of the whole like teeny bopper coming of age, like, yeah, I'm gonna ride a dragon, and I was still excited for that. So pretty disappointed when they announced that it was scrapped.
Yeah, and they were talking about expanding Microsoft as a gaming publisher in general, meaning that there may come a time where we see Microsoft publish games on other consoles. We currently see Minecraft, but they acquired that
Right.
well after it was already on so many different consoles and everything. So then there was the thought of, now they didn't say this, of appearing on possibly like having other games appear on other platforms, right, other than their own.
Right.
And this brings up an interesting conversation because the Xbox brand has not been profitable for Microsoft since ever.
Really?
Yes. Yep. Never. They have never turned a profit on the Xbox brand itself. The original console was a little bit expensive to make. It's fairly big,
Right.
and they phased it out very quickly.
The suitcase.
The 360, the Red Ring of Death, cost them over $1 billion. So that console was not profitable whatsoever. Granted, also, the PS3 was not profitable for Sony either. It cost them $800 to make the original console, and they were selling them for $500 and $600 respectively.
Right.
At a $200 to $300 loss on every console until they slimmed it down. Then, once they started turning that around, I don't even know if they ever got to a point where they were starting to turn like the red into the green.
Right.
Then they had that big network power outage because of the hack, and then that cost them about $1 billion. So both companies lost severely in the last generation. And now since the Xbox One, they don't make much of profit on each console at all. They probably spend more money than they bring in as far as that goes. And I know that there have been talks internally within higher up Microsoft execs as to selling off the Xbox brand.
Really?
There have been discussions with Amazon before in the past. These never really went anywhere. Of course, Amazon's like, really? Xbox, huh?
We like to spend money.
They love to spend money.
Yeah, they do.
They love to spend money. Of course, it never really happened. Nothing ever came of it. It never really got past the, we need to figure something out here. Because there are definitely execs higher up in Microsoft that don't want Xbox. They don't. It doesn't make them money. Why? It would be like your big salty executive saying, "Why are we dragging the dead horse? Why are we trying to keep this horse alive? It broke its leg 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Shoot it already." But then you have those within a company that are very unfavorable of it. And obviously, Phil Spencer has moved way up. Obviously, with the Xbox One X coming out, this is nowhere near in the future where we may see an end to an Xbox console. In fact, I just read something from a higher-up executive at Ubisoft. And he expects there to be another PlayStation and another Xbox, brand new generation of console, within the next 2-3 years.
I could see that.
Oh,
I can see PlayStation doing that. Maybe Xbox might try to sit on the X. for a
they
little
might,
while.
But at the same time, they don't want to be the ones that are left behind.
yes.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on how well the X does. Because if it shoots up and it's like they're kind of like, just they can't even keep them in stores, I don't see that happening. But if they do that well, they might go, we can wait just a little bit, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a little bit here where we can just tap it just a little bit enough.
Well, I think PlayStation will also see what happens with the X because right now, PlayStation has majority of the market.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they have the most consoles in homes right now. So right now we're not hurting. They're just going to keep putting out more content. They're doing the right set. I think right now it's the best time to be a gamer because each console is doing what they should and moving forward. Xbox put out an X, but everything's reverse compatible. At least they're getting to the point where everything's reverse compatible, and then they're putting out good exclusives.
If they release a revised, or like say the PS5, PlayStation 5, there's no reason for it not to be reverse compatible with 100% of PS4 games.
All right. Yeah.
There's no reason for it anymore.
One thing that I don't understand is just look at Sony. You look at their massive library of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 titles. Why would you not make those available to everyone?
Cost.
There is
But look at the money to be made.
But when you look at what happened with the PS3, they put the PS3 out. They had the PS2 hardware in it. That's what hurt them. $800 a make, $600 profit.
The real issue with the PS3
Not profit.
emulation is trying to emulate the cell processor, because that was the downfall. That was the grace and the downfall of the PS3. That's what made it so difficult to develop for, was the cell processor. The cell processor stepped away from traditional PC
Mm-hmm.
and tried to do something new and unique, and it was powerful. The problem was it's complicated. So then when you have these developers and they go, this is stupid, because they look over at Xbox 360 and they can get a very similar product
Right.
with a lot cheaper development cycle.
Yep.
So early on, you saw the games being developed there, and they're like, we'll figure this out. We'll just port it over and get it working.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, as the more PS3s got out, the more that they actually spent the money to have people sit down to figure out, how does the cell architecture work, and how do we make this over there for it, and how do we optimize it? They figured it out. It got easier. With the emulation of doing backwards compatibility on the PS4 for PS3 titles, they would have to emulate the cell. And that's expensive to put in every single, just put in an update and have that system be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So their workaround that I see, and this is what they're doing, they do the emulation on their end, and they send you the signal. That's the PS Now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they have their PS3 reverse compatibility, is in the PS Now, because that saves them a little bit of money. They spend all that money on that Gaikai streaming network, so this is how they're using it. I disagree with that. I wish it were just base, let's put this in there, and it works, just like the Xbox One has been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
The similarities between the 360 and Xbox One, architecture-wise, similar. Very easy for them to do.
Right.
Then they were able to figure out the original Xbox codec. Then they got it figured out. Now it works. For the PlayStation, I guarantee you they could get PS1 and PS2, and they have got PS2 running on there. And I've heard that PS1 classics are coming. So, but none of that may be disc-based, and that's something that, reverse compatibility for PlayStation on the PS2 is a happy accident. Then they put it in 3 because people expected it. Bumped up the price of the console. So eventually they took it out. But it was so easy for the console to emulate PS1. They like, this is going to it'd take us more work to take it out.
Right.
So they left that in. And but that's just kind of where we are as far as reverse compatibility goes. But for the next system, both the PS4 and Xbox Ones are closer to PCs now than ever.
Right.
Even, to some extent, even the Switch. So if they're making the PS5, they're like, all right, here's what we have. Here's our map for the PS4. Let's increase this in every single way. Let's do this. Let's do this. What did we make a mistake here? Let's do this, do this. Now we have the brand new generation of console. It's going to be way updated. It's going to be your 4K. It's going to compete with the X, if not go beyond it. It has to.
It has to go beyond it at this point.
But it makes no sense for that same thing. Just like if you had a PC, why doesn't it run PS4 games? Because it's the same architecture almost. So just put it in, and you should be able to run them, and there should be no reason for it not to.
Right.
One of my biggest likes about the Switch, it's card based.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole every time you buy a PS4 game, you have to download it on your system. So that internal base really doesn't matter. If you're like us, we're collectors. I can't fit all my games on there. There's no way. I've got over 20, and they won't fit on there on a 1 terabyte. So you're looking
the base
at
model for the new console is going to have to be a terabyte. They're not even going to, like, why would you even bother with
Yeah,
like,
you can't even go.
500 gigabytes was small when those with PS4 and Xbox One launched, really.
Yeah.
You know, that's one reason why when I got an Xbox One, I made sure it was a terabyte. I was not getting anything less because I am having problems with my PS4 with space.
Yes.
I have to delete stuff, and it's a matter of what do I connect to external, or do I just replace the inside, or just get a smaller or upgrade the PS4.
When I have the original PlayStation 4, the White Destiny Special Edition
yeah.
one, and that was a 500 gig PlayStation, and I bought one of the kits and redid the hard drive inside myself, and then I've got that hard drive as a portable one.
Right.
But, you know, if they were still only cranking out 500 gig hard drives, you know, this far along, I would more than likely have none of the original stuff that I had from when I bought the console. So
Trust me, there's stuff on my hard drive that's never getting deleted, like the PT demo. I'm never getting rid of it.
Oh, yeah, don't get rid of that.
Because you can't download it anymore. But
they were definitely smart to add the removable
finally, yeah.
files or storage.
Well, then Xbox answered with, you'll be able to plug it in USB, and you can have an external.
Well, like
And PlayStation did it.
Well, PlayStation did it later, but PlayStation you're able to change it out.
Right.
With the Xbox One, you can't access hard drive, so.
Right.
Which I am not a fan of that, but to some extent, because at least they included the external from the get-go, and they did partner, and they did the whole licensed of this is the official Xbox licensed external hard drive, 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte, whatever.
I've got a Anchor brand USB hub plugged into the front of my Xbox with about 4 hard drives plugged into it. So
you're set.
I've got plenty of storage.
Right on, man. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go jump into our backlog here, and I don't really care who goes first. We have about 5 games apiece.
Might as well go with this one because I removed mine because everybody had theirs.
Okay, yeah. So Final Fantasy 15. Brought my copy. Tyler brought his copy. You put yours back. This is you might be able to still find the day 1 edition. Does that bug anybody else when you see when you see the term day 1 edition? You go to the store right now, and a game that came out 2 years ago, you can still buy the day 1 edition of.
Yes and no.
I don't really care personally.
Does it matter? No, but it just irks me because it's just another selling point.
It's just a marketing ploy to get you to try and convince you to buy it more than you already were going to.
So, Final Fantasy 15, as we talked about multiple times here on the show, watch the movie first, Kingslave. That way you know what the hell's going on in that damn game, because 10 hours in, you don't know who the Empire is. You don't know why they're after you, why they killed your dad, why they took you hostage, why they're trying to sabotage the marriage, why you're wandering around like Stand By Me with a couple other guys that talk weird with a butt. Like, it's just really awkward, okay? This game is awesome, and it sucks at the same time. That it bugged me. Mike, you were 100% right that watching that movie would piss me off. Because it's information they say in the first fucking minute of the goddamn... Okay, I said I was going to go light.
You gotta go light. You gotta go light.
Okay, I put this here because I do want to revisit it. Because I went and bought the fucking movie so I could watch it first.
So I bought the collector's edition with the movie in it because I had a feeling I was going to need it.
Right.
So I watched the movie first and played the game, and even still, the movie could just be the movie alone. Like, the game doesn't even need to be there. But even with the movie before the game, you're looking at, okay, I get what happened, but what the fuck is going on? Because it doesn't really explain a whole lot of the meat. Like, usually, like, let's say Final Fantasy 7. You're in Midgar. You're going through Midgar. That's like what 5 to 8 hours, depending on how well you know what you're doing. Kind of cloudy on what's going on. Get that? Cloudy. And then
Liked it.
the first time you go out in the first city right outside of Midgar, that's when you get backstory of what's going on. 8 hours into the game, I get it because I was enjoying the first 8 hours and I was like, oh, all this story. Oh man, this game just completely opened up to a whole new realm. Where the fuck is that? Because I am all the way to the point where I have my ring and I don't even care to keep going. I have everything. I've already beat Leviathan. I got my ring. Spoiler. I have the ring.
You must deliver it.
So I can give everybody magic now.
Ah, these silly Ignises.
But at the point where it's at, I'm still like, I really don't care to continue.
For me, I got about 10 hours in, and I got frustrated. I got frustrated with what I was doing and where I was going. Because I didn't understand. It was like, part of me wanted to keep going. And then, for some reason, I stopped. I don't know if there was another game or not. But I slept back. It was Persona. I think that's when I beat Persona 4, maybe.
Could be.
Around that holiday time, about a year ago. So, I really like the game, and that's why it's here. I do want to go back, and I do want to complete it, because unlike the 13, I am drawn to it. There is a certain sense of coolness about this.
Oh, there's no way around it. The action and the way that this game plays is phenomenal. The story, it's just not there. It's not where it needs to be for a Final Fantasy story.
It's a bit thin.
Yeah.
They are going to add to it, though. The Ignis DLC is coming out for Christmas, and then they have stated that they're looking at making more DLC past the Season Pass. That's going to even make the story more full because they want to make the people who bought the game and liked it to get even more. So they haven't... that's what the director said. He said he wants it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right.
But because a lot of the staff that's been working on this have moved on to Kingdom Hearts, FF7 Remake. So what are the resources available? That's what he's going to have to sit back and talk to the bosses over at Square, seeing what he wants to do, how much they're willing to let him do at this point for a game that's over a year old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you got to say, Tyler?
I have not played 1 second of it.
Watch the movie first.
Yeah, you watch
I'll definitely watch the movie first. I've told you before, Final Fantasy for me right now kind of has kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Final Fantasy to me is turn-based, some badass battle music, and dynamite story. And I loved Final Fantasy 12, even though it wasn't turn-based. I didn't think the combat was that bad. I enjoyed the story. And then I played 13 and all the other iterations of what 13 is.
13 is turn-based, but it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I got excited because it was turn-based again, and I'm like, okay, they're going back to... I'm a big grassroots guy when it comes to stuff, and you should always know where you come from, and... the typical if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. So I was really excited for 13. And then I played 13, and I think I gave it away for free. I hated it that much. The story just wasn't engaging. The characters weren't engaging. It just didn't do it for me. So I think I went back and played 9 again instead. But I'm excited to play it when I get time. I'm just trying to keep a really open mind.
As much as I have bitched and ranted and yelled, okay, I don't hate it. I really don't. I want to give it its just chance. I didn't make it as far as Mike did into the game. So I really liked what I played. I liked how the game started. I even liked some of the banter between the characters. Yes. Because these are your 4 guys, and they're buds and they're friends, and they're traveling, and there's a little bit of talking back and forth. I like that.
Oh, I love party banter.
And
I think more games need to do it.
Yeah, I liked driving in the car and having you can go around and collect all of the soundtracks for the old Final Fantasies.
Yes.
And play that in your car.
Now, see, that is cool. Yeah.
And so I thought that was really badass. And
you know what plays in mine? The song that they play when you're in Highwind. That's what I've got always on mine because that's my favorite song in that.
I'm excited to get back to it one day. I really am, and I really do hope that I didn't deter you with my rant.
No,
That is almost like my gimmick here on the show, though, is ranting about the goddamn, just watch the movie first. That ruined me, man.
How far were you? You were in like.
I haven't played a single
No.
second of the game.
Before you watched it.
I haven't played it since then.
No. Before you watched the movie, how far into the
how
game
far were you in the game before?
10
you
hours.
watched it?
10 hours. And
I haven't played it since.
And he watched the movie, and
I watched the
we
movie
had a
and-
podcast immediately after, and he's like,
I flipped the table over. I flipped the table over,
he
man.
flipped the table over. He's pissed.
And I haven't played a single second of it since then. And it was just, I really enjoyed the movie. Thought it was really cool. It set it up perfectly. It tells you some of the history, and it sets up.
What's the character's name in that?
Oh, dude, he's played by Aaron Paul.
I don't remember his exact name, but
Aaron Paul, Breaking Bad, bitch. Jesse Pinkman.
yeah.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
He's not bad because he's not Aaron Paul.
Right.
As much as he's not playing Aaron Paul, he's playing this character. Sean Bean's in it.
Okay.
But-
Well, is he the king? I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Bean. So.
Yeah, I mean, but,
Lena Headey's in it. She's Cersei Lannister.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's a great movie. Like, you watch it from beginning to end, you're like, this just alone is a great movie.
It has its own storyline.
And that's
Yeah.
I've kind of browsed the internet a little bit just to read reviews, and every review I've read of that movie, identical. That the movie is great, and then it gets to the game, and it's like, it's just kind of not there.
I mean, some of the last fight, to me, is epic as shit in that movie. Like, you go through the whole movie, and, like, you see him using... Who did he use? Who did they use? Did they use Muhammad to destroy the first big fight? Because it opens up in a fight scene. And you learn about the character. He brings Muhammad and fucking wrecks everything. And then he pulls back and, like... No, it wasn't Muhammad. It was Emerald Weapon, because he opens up and he shoots.
It was like the Emerald Weapon.
It was the Emerald Weapon. He does that, and everybody's like, oh, fuck, we're fucked. And then they pull back, and they're like, all right, we're going to take, you can come quietly, or we're going to fuck you up anyways. But then he pulls him out, and the main guy, spoiler alert, he's not worthy to wear the ring. But he pretty much puts the ring on, and anybody puts the ring on, they die. Like, almost immediately.
Okay.
They get judged by the old. And he puts the ring on. And, they're getting ready to kill him. And he's like, look, I don't care if I die. I'm here to save these people. That's what I want. And they're like, maybe we can give it to you. And then they're like, but we're going to take their life at the end. So he's like, fuck it. I ain't got nothing to live for. And he just goes balls out on the fight. And it's a really good fight. Really long. I like it. But the setup for the game, it's like, yeah, all this stuff happened while you were driving in your car in the past, 4 hours? They literally left the city and they were only like a couple miles out. Yeah.
I don't like it when any media requires me to do something else to understand what the hell is going on and what I'm doing.
That was the basis of my rant for the last year.
And
Every time it comes
so I'm really glad that you two have warned me to watch the movie first. Otherwise, I would more than likely feel the exact same way that you have for the last year and a half. Because that's very frustrating to me. It's a marketing thing. They're trying to maximize their profitable gains by diversifying a little bit. Like, well, buy this movie and you'll understand what's going on in the game. Like, why didn't you just tell me what's going on in the game to begin with?
Right.
It's kind of how we felt.
What's going on here?
I might pay $5 more for the game, and to not have to spend $15 on a movie.
Right.
So
I'm looking to see if they included the thing in here to even tell you to buy the damn thing.
the advertisement. I
No.
have no
You have nothing
booklet
in
in mind.
no, I just got ads for stuff that came out last year. The Kingdom Hearts 2.8, Dragon Quest Builders, FF14.
I didn't get
online.
this.
You didn't get that?
Well, I'm going to go over and get it now. since it's literally right over there. Yeah, I don't see it in there at all. I have to go check it out. That's gonna bug me.
Oh, this little like the
That's the
signatures of all the people that helped make it. Thank you for your support.
Like the old school artwork. And it looks great. We're gonna check because I might just.
Note.
I probably have it. I've got a huge stack. I do.
Yeah, it's in here probably.
Wait.
Right there it is.
Shows you how much I paid attention to it.
I do believe it is your turn, Mike.
Let's go with one that two of us have here. Xenoblade
Yep, that's not me.
Chronicles X. So
Xenoblade Chronicles X Special Edition is mine.
yeah, so we're gonna let you go right into that. I'm gonna talk a little bit about. I think I got a little bit further than you did. Actually, I think I got a lot further.
You got a lot further than I did. I
So-
pretty much tested the game, make sure it worked.
Set that on the table.
No,
Oh, you can reach it.
I got all the way and got my mech,
I didn't get that far.
and I started messing with it. I still haven't got flight. Quote, you get at the end of the game, or at a certain mission, you get flight. Still haven't got flight yet, but yeah, So he's
All right.
gonna open up his for the first time here, the collector's edition of the Xenoblade Chronicles
So
X,
it comes with an art book.
which is awesome. I want to look at it.
Just a second.
Oh,
Wow,
watch.
it's like-
I thought you were handing it to me.
I want to look at it.
It looked like you were handing it to me.
Settle down.
So Xenoblade
Hold on,
Chronicles.
this is work.
I guess I can carry the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm here.
You are here indeed. At least it's not like when he goes pee and I just have to like make up something on the fly while he goes in there and pees. I pre-ordered this from the Devil's Playground itself, GameStop, in the mall here locally, and I went in and I said I wanted it. I paid it off right away. So what I did is I went in there, pre-ordered it, and what was cool was that I went to day shift about a week before the game came out. So I didn't have to get up early, come into town, pick it up, and let it sit in my car all day. I went after work, ran in there. Of course, they have all this. They have to set up this small, nice little store.
Right.
They have it all set up for holidays with this big. You have to walk this way. You almost have to do like a family circus type, comic strip just to get to the damn register.
Benny Hill theme
Yes.
playing in the background.
Exactly. So I walk in, and of course, on the holidays they have they have extra people.
Mhm.
And the dude's like, hey, there, can I help you there, pal? We're gonna help you find. And I'm like, here to pick up a pre-order. He goes, step right up,
Settle down, little fella.
And and he goes, hold on, let me guess, Rainbow Six, because of the new Rainbow Six Siege just come out.
Yep.
And I'm like, and the dude's like, oh, we'll see. Well, and he scans it, goes, Xenoblade. So that's who this is the only one in the store that got pre-ordered. It's just been sitting there, and they were like, who the hell ordered this? Of course, comes with the game, comes with this art book. This is not a direct sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles, but it's called Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Okay.
It's like a deviation, a Gaiden game, if you will. As per Brando, receipt usually in the box when I buy stuff, I usually keep the receipt. This was a total of $96 so it was $90 for the
So there was a Xenoblade for the Wii U before this one, correct?
Xenoblade 1 was on the Wii.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
And it was a different kind of game. It was more the one that's coming out for the Switch is a sequel to that one.
Okay.
And this one is a callback to like Xenogears in a way,
Mm-hmm.
because the guy that created Xenogears along with Square, he deviated. He did Xenosaga, and now he did Xenoblade, and then he's doing this one, and then of course the new one. There is a limited edition lithograph
Ooh, that's cool.
for the game. I don't know how that comes up on our camera, but
You want me to take it up there?
oh no, it's fine. We're not that. I've never even opened this. And then we have the USB dongle for space, made out of metal. Got a little weight to it.
Yeah. That's
So,
cool.
I mean, one of the reasons why I picked this is because I brought it home, I threw it in, tested it out, worked, I was having some fun. Then I didn't play it. Something else came up. And that's a lot of Wii U games. I have a lot of Wii U games on my backlog.
Oh man.
That is the story. Like I think just the Wii U system in general is my backlog. Is to eventually dive in. I ended up getting the Paper Mario Color Splash.
That's cool.
We talked about that a few episodes ago here on the show. I got the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. What else? The Yoshi's Woolly World. I picked that up.
See, that's one of the ones I want to get, the Paper Mario and Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yoshi's Woolly World's awesome.
Cool.
Paper Mario, I actually haven't even played it at all. Haven't even put it in. It's very similar. We had a guest on a few weeks ago. Her name's Sarah. She said that it's very similar to Sticker Star.
Okay.
So if you played Sticker Star,
Yeah.
it's pretty similar to that. So for this game, I wanted to bring it because I kind of realized I was looking through and I was like, I could bring a lot of different games. I limited it at like 5, and I'm like, I want to bring this because I don't think I've ever opened this on camera, and it was just. I had no idea that you were even going to select this, Mike,
Well, I know.
because I kind of forgot that you had it.
It really worked out because since I got the call from work, at least I could let you transition because you're going to explain, your awesome pickups, and I'm super jelly over.
Well, I went to this story. I picked it up. I got to rush home and download the update. Of course, I don't know if you guys have ever uploaded or updated anything on the Wii U. It takes forever.
Oh yeah.
So, my thing about this is Xenoblade. It's open world, open combat, but it's really not open combat. So, you can't run away from an attack. If the attack animation has already started, unless it's an area of effect, you're getting hit by it. So to me, it's kind of like one of those illusionary games where you're like, all right, I can do some attacks and dodge. Since that's not the way it is. You're just standing there, turn-based live action. Is basically what it is. I like that because I like turn-based games. I mean, that to me is an RPG. That's what I grew up with.
Right.
Turn-based RPG with just a fantastic story. This has the same thing, but for me it was a learning curve because I never played any of the Xenoblades. So I was struggling.
This game, as I mentioned before, is completely different.
It is.
To the original Xenoblade Chronicles, and even the new one on the Switch, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I have to get the first one.
You do, and it's
I need
completely
to know what's
playable
going on
on the
with
Wii U. If you have a nunchuck and Wiimote, completely backwards
Okay,
compatible. Just launch the
cool.
Wii channel and you can play it. And of course, it's through HDMI, so it's going to look just fine.
Yep.
But it is a more of a action RPG, lesser so than this. I did play enough of this to get a taste for the combat, and it's not the same.
Right.
It's similar. There's some similarities, but
I like the mechs. The mechs are cool, but some of the larger creatures, you want to put, because they have like the ones that you can attack while you're in a human form, and then they got the ones where you're like, yeah, no, not gonna happen. Even when you get your mech out, no, not gonna happen.
Right.
So I like that it's open world, but I also don't like the illusion of I'm going to be able to dodge attacks because my strategy, which is a lot of people's strategy, is you go and you get your couple licks in and then you get out because a lot of those things are going to hit you for your entire health total.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I can take on something that's way the fuck out of my league at lower level, and this you can't. So I come up when I got my mech, I'm like, yeah, I'm a badass bitch. I'm going to take on some people. One shot. I guess I'm not.
Wrong decision made here.
not today.
Not today.
Not today.
So, Tyler, what you got on docket for us?
I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy X-10-2.
Which I also had.
And that is a good pick. I just picked
I haven't
that
even
up.
opened this yet.
I picked that up just a few weeks ago. Picked that up from our local replay of disc, and finally got a copy of it. It's my third purchase of those games. I don't really need those games, but it's cool to have them both on the same disc because the Vita version only gives you 10 on the card. You have to download
Yes.
10 too. Unfortunate circumstance there. Also, the Vita version gives you these little art cards that come inside.
Which is cool.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
But then the PS3 version gives you a whole art book on some of the copies.
That's cooler.
I looked at it, but then the PS4 actually looks way better. The PS3 just almost looks like the PS2.
Oh, okay.
Just widescreen.
So for me, I played this game a long time ago. My neighbor had it, and Final Fantasy. Oh, so I start playing the game. I get the Blitzball. My life is over.
Mm-hmm.
All I care about is Blitzball. I never continued the story. I picked that one up. First day, put it in, got all the way to Blitzball. Couldn't stop playing Blitzball, and I was like, I got to put it down. I got to put it down for a while. I'll go do something else. I never came back to it because my whole intent was come back and don't even go to Blitzball. Just continue the story. Get out of the Blitzball. Because once I hit Blitzball, it's like, all right, now you're too worried about your stats. I love that. I love Blitzball.
10 is not the top dog for me in FFs.
No.
But damn, does it have a good roundabout story. It has a couple of really good twists.
Yes.
I've
heard all about the twists.
Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't played 10. Come on, it's been years. Have you played 10 at all?
Well, yeah.
Okay. I'm just...
You kind of insulted me a little bit.
I'm sorry. But the twist of Yuna, when she goes to defeat Sin, summon her final Aeon, she dead. And the whole game, Tidus is like, "Will we go beat Sin? We'll come back and we'll do this. Oh, this is great." He didn't know. He's this young teenage kid, so stupid. They never told him.
And he's in love.
And yet he's falling in love. So now he's got to deal with it. And he goes, you know what? I'm not going to stand for this. There's got to be another way. The only problem is he finds out the other way, he no longer exists.
Because he is only
He's a dream of the faith.
a dream.
And if you destroy Yevon, you destroy the faith. They won't dream. But they are tired and they want to be dead. They want to go. They're like, this whole thing was designed to bring you here to make this happen.
Yep.
Because you are the outsider that can make this happen. And he never says a word until it's the last possible moment. To the point where they turn around and they would be like, well, no, we don't want you to die, dude. And he's like, I have to. And I'm ready to. So that way she can live. And that is heartbreaking.
Well, as you said, and I've watched some gameplay of this, that pinnacle moment where he finds out and he makes his choice, his character completely changes.
It does. And then, of course, you have the actual meat.
Oh, yeah, be prepared for a honking pig. Patty's one of her favorite toys.
I love the story between Tidus and his dad. Because literally, it's not typical for fiction to have such a rocky relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, it's like, oh, my dad, I loved him. He disappeared. He hated his dad. His dad was not a good dad.
Nope.
He still loved his kid. And you get to see that he left like a little video sphere for him if he ever found it, and he's having such a hard time speaking his emotions. And what I also loved is that when Tidus finally came face to face with him, and he says, "I hate you," his heart isn't in it. Because after everything that he's found out about his dad, he still hates him, but he's like, I can't.
Yep.
But he has to say it, and he's like, I know. Because they didn't have a good relationship. But they know, here we are again together. We need to make this happen. Because, Jet's a part of that whole plot. He knew Jet and the Faith for Bahamut. They both... And Orin. Mm-hmm. They were both a part of that plot to bring him there, to end this. Jet, here he is, a Sin, holding back the reins of Sin this entire time, doing what he can to stop him from being so destructive. To bide as much time as possible. To make it to where now we can make this stop, and we can make this stop and not have to do what we did last time.
Right.
Such an awesome story, because then when it's all revealed, and then Yuna has to do the sending for all these, faith for all these spirits, and she has to do it now. Otherwise, who knows what these out of control spirits they become fiends. And while she's sending all these people, then Orin, he's gonna disappear, and he's like, "Do it. This is it." And then you see him go.
For me, part of what made 10 so great, the story is fantastic, but the cast, your party members, hard to beat as far as, the whole FF.
Well, I like the mix, because Waka is easy to hate, but...
Waka. Nice hair, dude.
But Waka is also, he's so sucked into the dogma. Mm-hmm. When Unalesca reveals that no matter what they do, sin is eternal, Waka's character changes.
Yep.
He refuses to, because before he's all big deep into the Yevon religion, and she goes, but we can stop it. He'll disappear if we just all atone. she's like, "Do you really expect humanity to have such purity?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
And even Lulu, who's never made it that far as a guardian before, she's kind of like, "What?" And there's multiple levels of twists. There's the Yuna and then Tita's twist, and then there's like, this has been sort of like a plot to control the masses, and it's such a good really well pulled off, because while some of the voice acting, it's a mix of good and bad.
Yeah.
For its era, but man, they're able to do something, and what I feel like, me personally, is probably the last real good Final Fantasy game. As far as after that, you had the online game 11, you had 12, good in its own right, but they never reached that what would be the title or the ultimate title of Final Fantasy, what that namesake would mean.
Right.
I think 10 was the last one to do that. I don't even think 10-2 achieved that. 10-2, I like the job system where you can switch jobs in mid-battle. Pretty cool idea. I like the ATB system. I don't really care for anything else in that game. I need to beat it and give it a good chance, but I have a hard time getting past the J-pop opening. That really ruined me.
That's what sucked me in. I'm in it.
Really?
No.
Okay.
But I tend to. It's that redheaded stepchild that you lock in the closet, forget about.
Yeah.
But there were parts of 10-2, Yuna is searching for Titus, and she's devoting all of her time and effort, and she's got Riku, and then the new party member Pain, who at first I was like, this is just Lulu with a sword. But
Lulu and Orin did Fusion Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I enjoyed Pain. I mean, I didn't think the story was terrible. It's definitely not 10.
Yeah.
It's definitely not 9 or anything before that or after it. I would rather play 10-2 than 13. I'll tell you that right now. So, and so you haven't beat 10-2.
No, not at all.
You don't know what happens at the end?
I know that if you 100% it, you get there's a secret ending where Titus is officially back and alive.
Work for that ending. You're going to want to work for that ending.
And I know that they kind of leave you wanting more.
Yep.
And they never went back to do another entry.
I really, when I played 10-2 the first time, just kind of speed ran it, and then I went back because I wasn't satisfied with the ending I got. 100%ed it, got the ending that that we as fans deserved, and then I got that same exact feeling. When do I get more of this?
Mm-hmm.
So 10-2, not the greatest thing in the world. I think it's definitely enjoyable though. Sometimes you have to look for it, but the enjoyment is definitely there.
It's really cool to go back and visit the world sans sin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the world of Spira is such a drab and dark place. Everything is just so much death and angst.
Mm-hmm.
And then to go back and see that, here we are a few years later, and life is a lot better now. So I did enjoy that aspect of it. I love how you were pretty much given open realm from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike a lot of games where you have to work for that openness, you start the game, you go through your little first chapter, and then the whole world's open to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So pretty cool. Moving on here, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. I have the complete edition. It comes with all the DLCs, the free ones plus the 2 expansions. I got into this game at a bad time.
I don't know how you haven't devoted the entirety of your life to that game like I have multiple times.
I really dug this game, and I really dig the lore. I have the second game on the Xbox 360, and of course the first game was originally just on PC.
Right.
This game is badass, and I got into it at a bad time. I bought this during Taxmas this year, along with some of my other games. I said Paper Mario, I got that. I got a few other games. But I've been waiting to pick up The Witcher until they release the Game of the Year edition, complete edition, because I saw their big plan for all the DLC. I want the DLC on disc. I don't remember if it was even on disc or if it was all just download code. I don't remember. No, it is all on disc, like it should be. Damn it, Mr. Fallout 4.
Oh,
game of the year.
God, I was pissed.
Is it all downloadable?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you buy the whole new copy of the game.
Full price. And this time around, so I bought it not when it came out. Because the third one, I played it, and I wasn't fond of the aiming system. I was into Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty is where it should be. When you first-person shooter, I need that ADS. The ADS was this.
Right.
Nope, not having it. So he just kept bugging me. You need to get it. 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 Finally, I got it for $20. That was it. I was like, 4 playthroughs later, okay, I'm buying Game of Year edition when it comes out. Then bitched for what, a year? About a year on here. About every other podcast. Where's my Game of Year edition? Damn it! Finally gave it to me. So they went and they get the Pit Boy edition again, and I was like, fuck yes, I'm buying the Pit Boy. Got it. We opened it up right here on the podcast. And
Download codes.
And
Damn you, Bethesda, and 500 revisions of Skyrim.
Right?
yeah, no shit.
You didn't get your disc, but they made another edition of Skyrim.
Oh, I know. One of the things. So we own every edition of Skyrim, except for Xbox.
Damn
360.
you.
So I went into buy. I guess I do have kind of a pickup DLC for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. So we went to buy it. He's pushing Skyrim on me. I looked at him and I said, I have every other copy of Skyrim. I will get this, but I do not want to pre-order it. Oh man, you need to pre-order it. I want to buy my fucking code and go home. My wife's like, you need to calm down. I'm like, I'm sick of it. I want my code now.
I just want them to stop making revisions of Skyrim. Anyway, back to The Witcher.
Yeah.
Witcher 3 is an awesome freaking game, and I picked it up at Taxmas in February. I was bored one day. I was trying to figure out what to play. I'm like, I bought The Witcher. I can play it. And I'm like, this is a large game. Can I beat it in a month?
No, absolutely not.
No, I couldn't. I don't even remember where I stopped. It's a big, massive open world. Mike will love this game.
I have not picked it up because I'm waiting for Xbox X. When I pick up my X,
They did they did release the 4K for this
I'm picking
on
that up.
PS4 and I believe Xbox One X as well.
I don't think that's a bad decision because the art style in The Witcher is so unique. I mean, Witcher 1, it was on PC and it was early PC, so
right?
not that great. But The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3, it is 100% its own entity. And, I played it on PS4 in 1080p, and I thought it was gorgeous. Having the opportunity to play through it, a fourth time in 4K, I might get there one day. I'm not there right now, but The Witcher 3 is in my top 5 greatest of all time.
Wow.
I loved it that much.
I like it a lot. The only issue is I just need to find the time to get back to it. Again, it's the whole theme of what we're talking about. I picked this up in February. There were 2 games that came out in March. You know what they were. One.
And Andromeda, R.I.P.
That was one of them. And
Yeah.
I got derailed.
Yeah.
As you saw, the disc isn't in here. That's because it's
Sitting in your console.
it was in my console. I took that out of the Xbox One to play South Park. So I put it in the South Park case because that's in the living room. I have all my games in the back, and eventually the cases wind up back there. That way, a certain toddler cannot get them and tear them up. He has not tore up a single game yet, but he has put in. He was able to reach, and I didn't know he could reach it. He was able to reach my games or my system, and then you know how they have touch. Sensing, yeah. We almost had some bad issues. Okay, there was one time where I found Mario Kart 8 taken out of the Wii U. He tried to put it back, and he put it in between the consoles. And I couldn't find the copy of Mario Kart. I'm like, where'd you put it? And she goes, I don't know. It was underneath the console. The other time, I was like, where the hell? I think I was playing a little bit of GTA for just, dick it around.
Right.
I'm like, I put it in there, and there's no disc in there. And there's no disc being read. And I'm, looking all around. I'm like, he took it out. Oh, no. Where is that? So I'm looking through all his stuff. It was in the console, upside down. and it had little tiny fingerprints on it. So all the consoles have now been moved higher where he cannot reach them. But I really enjoyed The Witcher. I can't wait to get back to it. Mike, heavily recommend this for you. What's cool is when they made Witcher 2, they made it to where you didn't have to play the first one at all to enjoy the series. Witcher 2 is almost kind of like a flat start, like an open start. So you don't have to like go read or do anything like that. You can if you want. Obviously, you want to learn more because this game is like lore heavy as Fallout, as Skyrim, as anything like that. It has that big of a lore because it's based off of a novel series.
Maybe a little bit more because it. So the Witcher series, the author's from Poland, and he has built an extensive world. His novels are super popular. His name escapes me. Normally, I can just spout it right off.
Might be on that.
But it's Andre something, I think. But if you like to read, definitely check those books out. If you like video games, I don't know how you haven't played that. I understand why you're waiting.
I've waited.
I don't know how you've waited this long.
Made by CD
because I haven't had a taste of it.
It was made by CD Projekt Red, and of course, do you get thrown off by the Xbox One cases?
Yeah, they drive me nuts.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Because our good friend that has never been on this show, but has been on other podcasts that we have been affiliated with, Nick Torres, got this and raved about it. And he said when he bought the game, he opened it up, and there was a thank you note from CD Projekt Red for buying the game. It's not in this version, but in the original version, is like we thank you guys for supporting our content. And he's like, I have never had a thank you note.
I remember that. I remember talking about that.
There's a lot to say about CD Projekt Red because they take a long time in development, and when they release games, they don't come out super buggy, and they're almost like a family-owned company. I mean, they're all people like us that just want to make fantastic video games. And what's even cooler, CD Projekt Red is based out of Poland also, I think. But
I think so.
Either way, they have their entire nation backing their video game studio. How cool is that?
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
And the author that created this whole universe is also involved and backing the video game studio. So
you can't beat it.
There's nobody else that does that. Or has done it successfully.
Right.
So I look forward to more things from CD Projekt Red.
They have a new game coming out, Cyberpunk
2040 or 2077 or 2049.
Yeah. And then I just saw a quote from them saying that they will probably return to the Witcher world one day.
I hope they do. If they released a video on the anniversary of that on YouTube of kind of the main character's farewell, and you see the whole cast together, and it's in a typical Witcher setting. After you guys play through that and finish it, definitely look up that video on YouTube because it'll tug at your heartstrings a little bit. Because I know you well enough. You're going to put some time into that when you have it. Yeah. And if you love RPGs, you're going to put in quite a bit of time too.
I got a lot of bit of time, and I like open world games. Like right now, I can't even tell you how many hours I got in Zelda because
okay. So I'm playing Breath right now, loving it. That is very similar as far as fast travel and mounted combat and doing things on horses. So you're gonna love that when you find the time for it.
That's finding the money.
Oh, and yeah,
I bought this in February for $32.
Well, knowing that the Xbox One is not a download, I could pick that up at Disc Replay and not have to pay for any other DLC because it's all on disc.
Yep. Now, I don't know if the PS4 is download. They have a bad habit about the Xbox One being all on disc. The PS4 is like, we're just going to do the download versions over here. I don't know why. Because I think it was Saints Row 4 got out of hell is like on the disc on Xbox, but not on the disc on PS4. So, what to do? Mike.
So, my next one, Skyward Sword, The Legend of Zelda. So, I got pretty far into this. Well, I say pretty far. It probably wasn't that very very far. It's motion controlled. I didn't get it because it was motion controlled for the Wii. And then I picked it up, I love the story of what I've seen so far. Problem is finding the time to play it.
Well, I mean, you're replaying.
But that's one of my favorite ones. Okay, I got a new system. I had to play on the new system. All right, that's my story. I'm saying too.
Yeah, that's fine. This is the earliest story in the Zelda history timeline.
Yes.
Okay.
The thing with Zelda, it's very time wonky. You have your start, and then it goes.
Ocarina.
You have your start with Skyward, and then it goes 3 different timelines.
Yep.
It splits into 3 different ones. So you have the legendary hero fails, and then you have a Link to the Past is its own timeline series. Then you have the Ocarina as another timeline series, and then you have.
Well, I thought the Ocarina was the split. I believe it is.
Maybe
because you've got the hero.
Yeah, because one of them is in the Majora's, and isn't Wind Waker in the Majora's World, or one of them like that?
Yeah.
Because the Wind Waker's in that one, and then
Yep.
there's the Twilight Princesses over here, and then there's that one, and I don't know where Breath of the Wild falls.
It's Calamity, so it would go with the Twilight.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they kind of exclusively have where...
I'm not looking it up. It's going to take too long.
Yeah, well, you can go just look up the Historium. I need that.
I need that book, too, yeah.
I need that book.
It explains it in that book. But
He's going to look it up. But, so they go on... it splits on the... I don't know what the third one is. When it splits in Ocarina, it goes the hero that wins, the hero that loses.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the Calamity, which is kind of like its own little thing. It's really weird the way it... Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Kind of a fuzzy picture.
Yeah, I'll just do Zeldapedia.
Zeldapedia.
I dig the name.
Okay, so Skyward, I'm gonna go back to this image and make it better.
View original image or something.
Yeah, and then it should focus.
Maybe I should try it on mine.
Well, that is a small image, really.
It is. Oh, let's see if I can pull it up.
Okay, I got
Pregnant pause.
a better one here. So it's Skyward Sword.
Minish Cap.
Yeah, Minish Cap, Four
Four
Swords,
Swords.
Ocarina of Time, and then after the Ocarina of Time, that's when it splits to go.
Hero is successful, and then there's in that one Child Continuum, Adult Continuum,
Right.
and then you have Hero is defeated, which is a different timeline in itself. So for the Hero is successful, Child Continuum is the Majora's Mask direct sequel to Ocarina. After that is Twilight Princess, and then Four Swords Adventures.
Right.
Adult Continuum is the Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks, which is all the
Animated.
tune.
Yeah.
And then you have the Heroes Defeated, which is Link to the Past, Oracle of Ages, and Oracle of Seasons, the Link's Awakening, then the original Legend of Zelda, and then Adventure of Link.
And then the biggest thing here is in reading this, when you read this off, where does he fall? Where does Calamity Ganon fall?
All right, well, I have it maybe. Maybe. Okay, that's a video for theory, not an official. Because they had to have said, you know.
So yeah, somebody said something.
All right, how about this one here? Oh, wait. I don't know. Okay, so this is a possible timeline, okay? And what we have here, and this is kind of interesting, and I don't know if this is true. This is from the soon-to-be extinct NeoGAF, where the timeline splits into 3, and then it all links back down to Breath of the Wild for like a new beginning down here. It all...
Huh.
So, in a way, you could say Breath of the Wild is like a new, so far down the line timeline. So maybe an entirely different timeline.
Because I always thought that Twilight would be a version of Calamity Ganon, because it's where he goes into the parallel world and he can shapeshift into other things,
Right.
which is essentially what Calamity Ganon is. But, it's one of those things that's like, where does it fall? Because it can fall anywhere.
I don't think there is a legitimate answer yet, because all I'm seeing here is opinions and theories.
Right.
So maybe they haven't even announced it yet, but
Well, we're talking about Skyward Sword. I never played it. I really wanted to play it, but what kind of pushed me away was the motion controls.
Yeah.
I have a Wii. I still have it. I think it's in my closet,
you can play on the Wii U.
which, I've recently dug my Wii U out of the closet. So,
It is a Wii.
yeah.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
I'm excited to, when I find time, when I want to get the Wiimote and the old nunchucks out and,
Yeah.
dance around my living room to play that again. And
Well,
I also want to replay Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is one of my favorite Zelda just games in
Get it
general.
on the Wii U.
Get it on the Wii U.
Amazing.
It's phenomenal. That is up to the Breath of the Wild. Only for the nostalgia of it. Link to the Past is my favorite one.
Okay.
Outside of actual game to play, Twilight Princess takes the cake on all of them up to Breath. I played almost every single one other than Link's Adventure.
Mhm. I didn't like that one either. the old side scroller one, yeah, tiny little knife.
Yeah. So, with that, I wanted to get it because it's the start, quote unquote, the start of the legend.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But the funny thing is it's the start of the legend that's already a legend.
The Legend of Zelda.
But it's not it's like, it's the beginning of all
It's the end of the beginning of the beginning of the end.
Exactly.
We must go deeper.
It drives me nuts.
It's a very late release for the Wii because it came out in 2011. The Wii U came out in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it kind of brushed under the rug. Who was playing a Wii in 2011?
How much
a lot
more
of people, since that was a very high selling console.
how much more popular would that game have been if it released for the Wii U and didn't have motion controls? Think about how much better. I don't know how you guys feel about motion controls. I'm not a big fan.
Not really.
I can tell you right now, I got my Wii U pretty close to launch, and if that was one of the launch or close to launch titles, I would have had it no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't a big fan of it until playing Breath. I got used to it on the Wii U because on the U you can kind of use the pad to move stuff around.
Which I hate it because sometimes it throws me off.
Right, but with Breath, I felt like they really redefined it because if you kind of stay still, not like, you can move around a little bit, it won't move for you. But for me, that little fine-tuned moving, when I picked up on the Switch, I'm playing it, and I used the Pro Controller, the Power A version of the Pro Controller. I couldn't aim worth a shit. I'd get up there and I'm like, and then little touch, and it was like 5 feet over here.
Right.
Like, well, fuck, I can't get it. So I went back to the other one, and that little movement helped me to get more headshots, better aim.
I played with the Wii U Pro Controller, so I never used the gyro. So I used the stick. I got used to it.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure I would get used to it.
It may be different though. Like it may just like maybe that controller. Third-party controllers typically have a problem with dead zone. So
It could be.
like because of course dead zone is like how far do you have to move that stick
But-
before you get movement.
Also, on the Joy-Cons, if I turn the motion off, it's still too much for me.
Is it?
Maybe it's just because I'm used to the Wii U's aiming to that. But
Tyler,
Tyler,
your turn.
Final Fantasy IX.
Absolutely.
I brought my original greatest hits copy that I got way back in a bygone age. I downloaded it on the PlayStation like 3 days after it released.
I told you that it was out, and you're like, I won't have it.
So
on the 4,
yeah,
On the
on
4.
PlayStation 4.
I got it on the 3, which makes it portable on the Vita. So
I'm not a handheld gamer, so
I can't have it.
I it's unpopular opinion. If I'm on the go, I'm on the go and I'm doing something. When I was a kid and which I still play my original Game Boy Color that I have, that I can do, but anything more complex than that, I've got too much stuff going on with living that dad life. So,
Yeah.
That's why I love to stand by.
Yeah.
I played through 9, my original copy of 9, like a year and a half ago, when I had some downtime from work, and I just kind of put it to bed. 9 is my favorite Final Fantasy in the series, out of all of them. I've played quite a few of them. I definitely haven't played them all, but 9 was the first one that I ever had. So, the PlayStation 2 came out, 10 came out, I didn't get it right away. I asked for it for Christmas when I was a kid, and I got this instead. So I dove right into that, and then I loved every minute of it. So I'm excited to play through it again with some better looking visuals.
Character models look fantastic on those. Like, it looks almost like a high def game now. They looked amazing.
I've watched just a couple of the cutscenes on YouTube real quick. I mean, obviously I'm not spoiling anything for myself, and the cutscenes look fantastic.
The cutscenes do look good. The only thing I didn't like is that they didn't remaster the environments.
Yeah.
It's still the original drawn environments, but they've made them widescreen. But since they were smaller aspect ratio, making them bigger, they do get a little blurry. But
parts of them look stretched.
Yes.
Like artificially stretched.
A little bit. But the character models look absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Damn near cartoon quality. Like, clarity on, like, eyeballs and faces and mouths.
Well, you can actually see Zidane's facial expressions now, and not just blur and then the line for his mouth.
So I need to show you Vivi's voice.
In World of Final Fantasy?
In World of Final Fantasy. It struck me as odd, but it works.
It almost sounds like Hubert from Futurama.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Alrighty.
Because I played World of Final Fantasy and they had a thing where it's like, Vivi, like I watched a video and somebody's like, Vivi finally talks. And I was like, not listening to it. I'm going to get to that point. I got to that point and I was like, I got mixed feelings.
I want to play it.
That's not where he was at in my head.
Yeah.
But it works.
All right. Persona 5. And with all due respect to Witcher 3, this is the next on my list. I got further into this. If you know anything about Persona, you know that the game usually takes place over the course of a year in game, and you start in about April. I'm in June, and I just got past a big boss, so it's kind of a lull. I'm playing this almost exactly the way I played 4. Powered through a little bit of it, got to a lull, took a break. Came back in, powered through down part of it, got to a lull, took a break. I'm gonna try and get this in over holiday. I doubt it. I'm being honest with myself.
Yeah.
Of course, I did get the collector's edition. I unboxed it here on the show, so that episode's back there in the background here. But this is exclusive to the PS4. Persona 5. I really dig the combat system, turn-based.
Cool.
Old school turn-based. It's very wacky in some aspects. It's also a mixture of the voice acting / reading. You have to go kind of back and forth.
I'm okay with that.
Very stylistic. The menus, the combat, the phone, it all matches the theme of. It all has a central color and theme, and it all matches.
Nothing looks out of place.
No, dude, it looks like the UI in there looks amazing.
So if I was somebody who's never played a Persona game, could I jump right into 5?
Yes, absolutely. All the stories are not connected.
Okay.
There is a little bit between 1 and 2. They try to make it to where you can kind of connect those two.
So, just to interject and add to it, this is basically based on a year of school.
Okay.
That's what it is. You go to school as you go through each one of the Persona games, and you actually can explain it better than I can.
It is part RPG, part social game.
Okay.
So in order for you to increase your levels on the kind of personas that you can fuse or create.
Which are like summons.
Well, they're your power essentially.
Yeah.
Each character has a persona, and that's how they use magic. That's how they use this, and that's their. They have you have your avatar in battle, but then when they use those abilities, that persona comes up and does it.
Okay.
Kind of like FF9 or FF8's.
A little bit, but each one has their own, except for your character can embody multiple personas. So you can that increases. I think I'm up to like 18 or 20.
Okay.
And then so you can have ones of different elements, types, and anything like that, and you can switch those mid battle for whatever you need. So you can have your healer, you can have elemental stuff, status stuff, whatever.
Okay.
And so there, you hanging out with your friends and forming social links, deepening those bonds, grows those levels at which you can create those.
Okay.
And it also gives them extra abilities as you go along. For that, and a story is awesome. What it does though sometimes is that like, all right, so say this dude, he's like your first friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's your player character. Here's him. You guys are buds, and he's like, hey man, you want to hang out? Well, and you say yes because you kind of want to deepen that bond, and it'll tell you whether you're going to increase it or not. If you have to hang out a few times of it not increasing before it does. So when it's not increasing, you really don't get story out of it. It's just like, oh yeah, these guys went here and did something, and then you get control of your character again. But when it does increase, that means you get a character moment with him, where something happens while you're with him,
Mm-hmm.
and then so that's how you get more character development for each of the characters in game. All the character, not just combat characters, can you do that with. There's your dude is kind of got in trouble before, so he's staying with the dude while he's on probation.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of like coffee shop owner. You can deepen your score with the coffee shop owner, and help him out in the coffee shop and spend time with him. There's a bunch of other characters that you can do that with too, and so therefore it's like you really can't do everything in one playthrough. It has New Game Plus.
Okay.
So when you go through, you already have the ones you already have, and then you can kind of focus on other stuff.
Which, yeah, because you have to be careful. Your first playthrough, you're really focusing on, I use these characters.
Mm-hmm.
You want to deepen those bonds, obviously, but you go back, and that's when you're like, all right, I want to fulfill this guy's story.
I played Persona 4 first. So far, like, that is high up on my list. I thoroughly enjoyed Persona 4. I gush about that game all the time. It's available on the Vita. It's available on PS2. But Persona 5 is the first new Persona since 2008. Very worth getting.
Okay.
If you're able to find this used for $20-$30, if you like turn-based RPGs, can't go wrong. Yeah. And then you like Japanesey stuff?
Yeah.
You'll love it. You'll
Okay.
fit right in.
Definitely into the Japanese pop. It's like a Japanese.
It's got really good music. It's got like a good feel, a good flow. This game really expanded on the dungeons. The dungeons in 4 are really just kind of like hallways, and you just kind of go, you're running, and then you go up to another floor, and then you do it again. This one actually has areas in the dungeon where they've actually fleshed out different parts of it, and it is not random. Your enemies are on screen, and it's cool because the transition going into and out of battle is none.
Oh, see, I would really like that.
Because then you go up and you like sneak attack them, boom, then you're in the battle, and then you're in a different screen, but it's seamless. And then you do your thing, and then when you've defeated the dude, it goes from like it tells you your experience and stuff. Like they do like a little victory thing, and then your dude starts running, and you see the background thing scrolling in the background. And it's like, and then when you press to end it, your dude runs, and then he stops, and you're in the hallway again running. You're like, it's seamless.
I already like it.
It's cool. It's very stylistic.
I already like it.
And the game, you guys are thieves, and you're taking down these evil people, these bullies, and you have to go into their dungeon and confront them. And you're basically stealing, like the artifact in there that's like driving their arrogance or whatever, their treasure, if you will. And so all of you have like these masks on because you're bandits and everything. So like you kind of have like this kind of classic type bandit look. Your buddy has like a full on Phantom of the Opera skull look. You know, the main girl in there, she kind of has like a red leathery cat look, and she goes, "What am I wearing this for?" You know, she's kind of scantily clad a little bit. Like, wow. She goes, "This is completely unacceptable." But
I'm gonna have to play it.
you know, it's so fun. Mike,
Illusion of Gaia.
good old game on the Super Nintendo.
I have never gotten very far in this game.
It is a really cool game. One of my funnier moments in video game history. I chronicled that on my Instagram. That is a sequel to a game called Soul Blazer. It, of course, was released. Is that by Enix? Or is that by Square?
Yeah, it doesn't say on it. It actually does not say.
I really do wonder if I'm gonna be able to find this picture on my 600 something posts of Instagram. But me and Rob were playing Illusion of Gaia once, and we got a really funny thing. But
Yeah.
action RPG on the Super Nintendo, and the sequel to Soul Blazer. It has an extra one that it has another one that never came out here, called Terra Enigma, and it's a really fun game.
Enix.
Yep.
Hold on. Drop that mic.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I dropped the mic, dude. Dropped the mic. I'm going through my Instagram because I want to find this picture. It was funny as hell. Because Rob came over and I actually took a picture of it, of the screen. Oh, here it is. All right, Lily. I have had some of her pie. It tastes rather unusual, doesn't it?
Oh God.
Oh, dude.
It says Joe on the Sealer deck.
Oh, dude. There was a game. There's a game series called Ease, and it's like a Japanese action RPG. The early games, you don't have an attack button. You bump into the enemies.
Okay.
It's actually kind of strategic. It sounds weird, and
I'm gonna bump you.
and then there was this one thing. It cracked me up, and it was something along the lines of this nurse walks in, and this guy goes, "Oh no, here she comes! Watch out, boy! She'll chew you up."
Yes. I like it.
So I definitely got tickled by that. But Illusion of Gaia is a great pick, and
I've got like an hour or two into it, and then I was like, I have too many other games going on.
that is sort of like the
That is the struggle.
that is the whole like antithesis of this entire conversation.
There's only a few games
Stuff we want to play.
that I bought retro,
Yeah.
and it's like life has ended, everything has stopped. That would be Super Metroid. That was like my first love of anything. Like really, really love, other than Super Mario. And Link to the Past. Those are things like literally I didn't care what was going, and Super Mario RPG until I lost all my save data.
And then there's that.
Which one is that one?
That's
That's
all.
the here she comes. Watch
Oh.
out, boy, she'll chew you up.
We need more things like that in games right
man.
now.
That tickled me in places that, you know. What's your next game there, Tyler?
I'm gonna go to Breath of the Wild
Awesome, because that's one of mine too.
because I'm playing the hell out of this right now, and I bought it kind of as a birthday gift to myself. I've waited all this time. You know, I've told myself, just wait, buy it once, buy it on the Switch. Get it when you get your Switch. You know, you'll be double excited. And I'm just not ready to buy a Switch right now. But I'm ready to play Breath of the Wild, and I've spent way too much time in that game right now.
Roman.
Just running around.
That's what I do.
I'm playing on component cables. I'm not playing on HDMI, and it still looks amazing.
I love that game. Is
And I've kind of brought this one. It's obviously not in my backlog, but this is what's creating my backlog right now.
There you go.
Because one of the other games that I brought tonight is Shadow of War, and I got that for my birthday. Played the hell out of it, and then, I'm going to go get Breath of the Wild, and I haven't touched it since. So, Breath of the Wild right now is manufacturing my backlog.
yes. I can't gush enough about this game. I actually got as I said the other day, the DLC, all the DLC, the
Season pass.
I just started where you guys got here, the Master Trials, the Trials of the Sword, and I can't. It's one of the few games where when I bought my Switch, and I told myself I'll never play another game. I'll never touch this game until I get the Switch, and it just, I had the need to buy. I had to buy it. Like it was, I don't care what I have to give up. I have to have this game right now.
Well, part of the reason I've waited so long for Breath of the Wild is because I love Twilight Princess so much. That is my favorite Zelda game ever. Especially on, I played it when it was on the Wii. So with
Cube,
I would have loved to play it on the Cube. I played it on the Wii. So I hated the Wii. Still love the game. Still my favorite Zelda.
when you get it for the U, it's basically the GameCube version upscaled.
See, that's going to be awesome. But I thought... Almost.
Almost, you got close.
I thought, I can't be wowed the same way that I was with Twilight Princess. Because, I love Zelda. We all love Zelda. I've, played Zelda in the past. But Twilight Princess really hit it home for me, and I thought, surely I'll play this and, I'll enjoy it and I'll go about my day. But I just can't say enough about it.
It's, to me, this generation, that's the best game out. It's
as far as next generation consoles, or
this year,
2017.
2017.
Okay. I was gonna say that's a pretty bold
I
statement.
wouldn't say that. This year, to me, that is one of the best games out. There's a lot of good games this year. Don't get me wrong, but to me, maybe it's because I'm a big Zelda fan. Always been a big Nintendo fan. That game was just like, this is what I wanted. This is everything I've ever wanted in Zelda. I don't even have any complaints. I cannot physically say there's something negative about that game.
As hot as the Switch is right now, as mediocre as the Wii U was, as great as this game is, imagine how much you wouldn't be able to walk down the street and not hear about this video game if it was on the other two AAA titles. Or, I'm sorry, the other consoles.
Yes.
So that just goes to show how awesome this game is, that it's able to do what it's done, being, kind of closeted inside of Nintendo.
So my last one is Breath of the Wild. Let me see here. Disc in there? It is still in there. I eventually did take it out of my Wii U.
Mine's inside my Wii U right now.
Yeah, she wanted to play Mario Kart. So, basically, I have a similar story to Witcher. Andromeda happened. I was playing this, and I'm loving every minute of it. I was gushing about it here because I got this, you got Horizon.
Yep.
And
it's a fantastic game.
we came in.
I haven't played it. It's in my backlog. I just haven't. Haven't got there yet.
Once you play it though, you'll be like, "Huh, this is it." This year has had a lot of good games. Like Zero Dawn, that's a completely new IP, and they gave it like an 8.7, but to me, for a new IP, it's a home run.
So I got detracted on this. I haven't put it back in because as soon as I got done with Andromeda, I didn't go back in. Because when I played Mass Effect 2 and 3, maybe even 1, dove right back in. New character. I didn't do that this time around. I didn't. I actually enjoyed the ending of Andromeda. I actually really liked it. As far as like in comparison.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of cliffhanger endings.
I didn't really feel like it was cliffhanger.
They
had unanswered questions.
There were too many unanswered questions between the Jardin, your mom, if you flesh that all the way out, the benefactor, what the Ket's doing, depending on whether you choose.
Well, because you find out they're actually a big, massive government.
Yeah, and these are just a kind of
cell,
vanguard or cell of the.
These are the
Ket.
These are oh, there's a problem, go send them. And then we're like, this is crazy, and then you realize this ain't shit. I went straight to Persona 5 because I got that in the mail while I was still playing Andromeda. Got done with Andromeda, went straight to Persona 5. After that, I don't remember what I did, but sure as hell did not go back to Breath. So, conundrum time. picking up my Switch in a few weeks.
I'm telling you, that was one of the hardest. I love Mario Odyssey. It's a 10 out of 10.
I'm getting Mario Odyssey because it's in my bundle, but what other games? I got to figure out what my budget is, so I can figure out what I can get, because I've already been told.
Oh, you finally got told? Like it was official told?
Yeah, I'm getting. I got told I'm getting Mario Kart 8.
In my opinion, the 3 games you should have: Breath, Odyssey,
Well, no doubt, right?
and Mario Kart 8.
But I got to make sure I got to have enough funding for getting what I want to get. Because if I don't have enough to get, I want to get the Pro Controller. Number 1, I want to get a Pro Controller. No offense to the Joy-Cons, I played with them; they're fine. I also played with the Pro Controller. 10 out of 10. Love that controller; it's awesome.
It's a good controller.
Are we getting closer to the GameCube controller?
We're. Do you know what?
I think it surpasses the Cube.
I don't.
To me personally, the GameCube controller is the greatest controller
It's
of every console of every generation. I've got small hands, but it fits my hand perfectly. You know, the layout's a little wonky, but GameCube, that's the controller I want for everything.
It's not quite GameCube, but it is. It's so comfortable. It has a perfect amount of weight to it.
I say the Cube is its own. The GameCube controller in that era is definitely the best. But as of like the new dual stick analog, all the new stuff, that is the most comfortable controller that's been produced in this generation of
It's very comfortable.
I think
last
Sony
10
should
years.
make the battering banana controller and
the PS3 era.
and really just wipe everything else out.
You know, the sticks on those weren't even analog; they were the sliding sticks on the PSP.
Yeah.
But okay, so what I was gonna say though, I need to get the Pro Controller. Okay, so then if I have enough to get the Pro Controller and one more game, got to get Mario Kart. So I may not pick if I have enough to get another brain.
But aren't you already getting Mario Kart?
No, that's what he's saying.
If I have to pay X amount to get to pay off the bundle,
Right.
and then I'm getting the Pro Controller. There's no before I get anything else, getting the Pro Controller. So then I need to look at how much money I have left to go after that. If I can only get one game, I got to get Mario Kart 8 because I'm sort of got my arm twisted for that. If I can get another one, I'm getting Breath probably.
If you haven't you haven't played it, obviously the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mm-mm.
It takes Double Dash. It takes every good element from every Mario Kart. And there it is.
So this is the Mario Kart.
In my opinion, this is
I love the original on the Wii U. I thought it was great. My wife got really good at it, and she kicked my ass pretty much every race because all she would do is sit at home. This is before we had a kid. She would just play, and she would play on the gamepad, and she'd play on her phone, put it down the gamepad for a little while, pick it back up, play. She'd watch TV and play, and then she just got at first she sucked, and then she just left me in the dust. I was an 8. I was so bad I wasn't even right behind her. I was all the way back in 8th. I'm like, how did you even? How did these other guys get better than me?
Teach me how to Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So for me, the Wii U version is phenomenal. It was at that point I would say it rivals Double Dash for me. Double Dash for me is the best Mario Kart.
That's been my favorite Mario Kart up until this point.
The reason why I say 8 is better is because 8 Deluxe added in the dual question marks.
Okay.
So when you go through, you can hit dual question marks. As long as you have one question mark, if you hit another one, it backlogs it.
Okay.
So you can always have a backlog, like you know how Double Dash is. You'd hit one, flip your character.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that if it's good. And if you're in the back, hit the blue shell. As long as you hold it, nobody else can get a blue shell. Rest of the game. So you can smoke through and beat it. But
Right.
it opened up a lot of new levels, took some of those levels that everybody wanted and put it onto Mario Kart 8. And they add the gravity twist to it, which I love it.
The Switch version also puts all the DLC
Yes.
that was released after the initial copy. Puts that on there. Adds a few more racers.
Yep.
And whatnot, and then it also adds the new battle modes because the original battle mode just sucked.
Right.
So now they actually have the old school battle modes, and then they have the dual. You can hold 2 powers.
Which is super.
Two weapons at
The
once.
battle system is fucking awesome because they have modes in the battle system now. It's not like pop my balloon. That sounded weird. Awkward.
Not today.
Not today. But so you do the battle, your normal one, you get 5 balloons, and then they have where you every time when you actually run out of balloons, you're not out. you lose 5 hits. So you actually don't win by how many balloons you hold. You win by how many balloons you've popped. Then they have another mode where it's bombs only. Everything is a bomb, and you got to blow people up. The other one is Star Rush. So you run and get a star, and it freaking slows you down bad. And all you're trying to do is just stay away from people. Well, everybody's always around the star. When one person drops it, there's like everybody's there. You get it, and it's brr. You can use powers, but all your powers take double the amount of time to pull up. So unless you're backlogging 2, you're going to be like double the time.
Right.
And you can't stop the wheel. It constantly turns. So, and then there's another one where you have teams where you come through and everybody has the, what's that called? The piranha?
Yeah.
And everybody has that. That's on the catch team. And if I hit you with the piranha, you go in a cage. Your team has to hit the key to drop everybody out. If you catch everybody, that team wins. Obviously, the other team is just to survive. Me and Rob started playing that, and he's like, dude, I'll play this all day. This is awesome. And we played it for like 2 hours. And we were just captivated by it. It was amazing.
I will tell you this. If there was a Smash Brothers out right now, I would have a Switch tomorrow.
In the newest update for the Switch,
Yes.
they made the GameCube controller compatible for the
But you know what
Switch.
that means.
Smash Bros. Coming.
Yeah,
Smash is coming.
It's coming.
At this point, with the console you have, they killed off the Wii U. If you don't move Smash over, that's their own fault.
Right.
They moved Mario Kart over, and it's done amazing. So what I'm thinking is what are they going to add to Smash?
I don't know.
Because they added to Mario Kart.
Are they going to add to Smash, or are they going to take it back to when Smash was really, really good?
What if they did both?
That's what I hope. The Wii Smash, not a big fan.
Not a whole lot of people are.
We need to get back to GameCube /
right.
Nintendo 64. Because, I mean, it's hard to beat the 64 one.
It was OG.
See, Cube is like, everybody says Cube is...
Melee
is the Smash. Like,
Mhm.
that is the Smash.
There's even like hacks to turn the Wii version,
Into,
like have more of a control scheme.
Yes.
which doesn't surprise me.
So Mike,
I think I'm the only... Well, you got some
no, you got a few
I'm,
more.
I'm pretty much done.
So I'm going to go with this one because I know once this one's opened up, you're gushing.
Yeah.
Tales of Hysteria. I loved it. I got about 70% through, and other stuff came out.
Switch.
No.
No?
No.
What came out?
I don't know exactly. I want to say Zero Dawn came out. And then
Did you get that way back then, or was that newer?
I got this way back when.
Shut up, Zuki. We're talking about games. When did you...
Shut your mouth, woman.
It's not in there.
Of course it isn't.
It's probably in the other game that I bought with this. I bought a bunch of games that day.
Can I see that?
Yeah, it's if you play Tales, any Tales game. It's Tales was kind of the Final Fantasy really took off, and then Tales kind of stepped in and was like, we're gonna try to go a different route, but the same route. So we're gonna get the same
More
path.
of an action based.
So what happens is
So, like, more towards Star Ocean.
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
that is a good. Basically, when you do a battle, Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
You do a battle, it opens up. The new Kingdom Hearts, it's open world, but
2015.
it you do a fight and it zooms into a circular area where you can't get out of. And you
Star
do a
Ocean
battle.
Till the End of Time was the exact same way.
That's right over there.
Yep. Which I actually enjoyed it. You know, when I first got Till the End of Time was my first Star Ocean game. When I first booted it up, I was like, I thought this was going to be turn-based. Because, you know, that at that time, that's pretty much all I wanted to play. Was Monster Hunter and turn-based RPGs. And once I started to dig into the story of Star Ocean, you know, I fell headfirst into that franchise and loved every minute of the first game. The one that was on 360, I can't remember. A New Hope, I think. Or something. But the one that came out, I've read nothing but bad reviews of the one that just came out.
I almost brought it from my backlog because I haven't even put it in my system. I picked it up for $20, brand new.
Yeah,
Day one edition.
I'm gonna wait until it's in the $5 to $10 range, and then I'll pick it up.
I do have the original Star Ocean on PSP because that's, other than that, it's the only way Americans that got that.
Right.
I have PS1 and PSP copy of 2, and I have PS2 copy of 3, 360 copy of 4 because I'm crazy like that. Even though the PS don't bite those games. How dare you?
Yeah.
Dog meat. You're a sorry name for dog meat.
No soup for you.
Even though your name's
But
Patrick.
really, I enjoyed the what I played of the earlier entries. I haven't played the 360 one or the last one. I haven't put the new one in at all.
So in this, your main hero is actually like kind of an outcast. He's been raised by, I don't know the name of him. I do, but I can't. It's not something. Ghosts.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, those guys. Or the Talarians.
The Talarians.
The Talarians.
It is. Use the Talarian.
Talarian?
I'm using my Solarian, Jay.
But what you do is...
I know about that story.
It's you and your ghost companion you pick. And it's just you two fighting together. But you can merge together to make one large.
I'm just seeing clay pots being formed with the...
Yes.
And then you get another character that can play with you that you can allow
To merge with your ghost?
to see them. Because you're the only person left.
Your dog is so skittish.
He's a baby.
It's all right, buddy.
You're definitely not dog meat material. But basically, it imbues him with the power to be able to hear and see him and fight with them. And you get a couple people that you get to do that with later on. But as a game, it's really good. It's just other stuff came up that I was more intrigued with.
Well, I'll have to check that one out too, because that's very intriguing for me.
Okay, so we're talking about this one. Mike, why haven't you played this game yet?
I have played it.
Why haven't you beat the game yet? It's not very long.
It's freaking Chrono Trigger, man.
Reasons. I like the game, but it is.
I'm staring at you over my glasses for a reason. Number one, you're blurry, so my rage is being contained right now, so I don't have to look at your face.
So I think I'm about 5 hours in.
Dude, you haven't even opened this game up yet.
5 or 6, maybe 8. I think Frog is not in my party, and he has not been in my party outside of the small amount of time when you're in his time.
Okay, so you haven't gone back there yet.
I think I went back to the Stone Age.
Okay, so you got Anya, is her name?
Yeah, I don't think I have Anya yet. I think I just beat the...
This game is freaking amazing. Number 2 on my list of all time. Teeters on number 1, depending on my mood. Because 7's number 1 due to nostalgia.
I understand.
I have said that 9 is the better Final Fantasy. I've said that here plenty of times.
It is.
But 7 is nostalgia. It was my first,
This is the best story in Final Fantasy that's ever been written.
Probably, yes.
It's freaking Chrono Trigger, man.
But Chrono Trigger is
I know.
so freaking amazing. I missed out on so many years on this, as of you. And I have sang the praises of this game since I beat the game. Saying that, holy crap, they did so much with so little, and it's only 20 hours.
Well, they paved the way for everybody.
Dude, FF7 got delayed to make this game. They were in development for 7. There were snags on this, and they brought people over, said, get to work on this game. They're like, we don't even, this doesn't even work for us. We want to come and we'll work on this. So Chrono Trigger is right at the end of the SNES life cycle. It thankfully was released on the DS, so it's a little bit more accessible. It's a PS1 classic. Don't get that one if you don't have to. It's long load times. Get the DS one. It has a really cool... I like the UI they do for the DS. You can do the old school UI if you want. New UI is awesome. They utilize the second screen for all your menu stuff and selecting your...
That's cool.
Quick and easy.
Like your battles and then your text. Love that freaking game. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. One day, hopefully, you'll...
Ding. Shame.
Ting, ting.
Ding. Shame.
Even I'm a little bit ashamed of you.
It's all right.
It's freaking Chrono Trigger, man.
To be 100% honest with you, it's good.
You haven't even got to the great part of that game.
Yeah.
But at the point where I picked it up. I think that I called you right when I picked it up because I got a really good deal on the complete version, and then we did a little swap so that you could have a complete DS version.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
And I played it. I played a couple hours into it, and it's not that I disliked the game. I wasn't in it all. It didn't grip me.
The thing,
It just didn't grip me.
the thing about Chrono Trigger is, you said it teeters in your top 1 or 2 of all time.
Yes.
All the time. That teeters in the top 100 list
Of
of
any game.
everyone compiled together. It's in the top 5 all the time. And it might move back from 2 to 4, back to 2 to 1. It might migrate a little bit in that top 5, but it is always in that top 5, and I think it will always be in that top 5.
All right, so I was a late bloomer to this, as I said, okay? I didn't play this for a long time. Okay, the newest game in my top 5 is Mass Effect 2. I love Mass Effect 2.
Oh, absolutely.
Damn work of art. The one I played, the one that I played the new, latest is this. And this jumped above that to me.
Really?
Yes. I love more.
Chrono Trigger. I don't know that I love it that much, but
Dude, it resonated with me in a level with how many endings it has, with the kind of freedom that you're kind of given in a game where it's like, I cannot believe that I can get this dude or not get this dude and then not rescue this guy or not rescue, and then it has such a simple yet satisfying storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a cool timey-wimey thing to it where you can actually, you see things in the present day, and then during your adventures you can go on quests and kind of do little things and just change it. And the small little things that you do just make the world so much better.
Well, and the thing about Chrono Trigger too is you said they did so much with so little in 20 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Chrono Trigger was made today. How big and how, over the top it would be.
Yeah.
More games today need to be made like that.
You know what? There actually is one. And it is on a paper in this game. Get back, dog meat. Dog meat? I'm telling you, man. It is called I Am Setsuna.
Okay.
This was released on the PlayStation Network. It's downloadable. Physical on the Switch in Japanese. If you download it or if you buy that, import it and put it in your English console, it goes in English, 100%. I Am Setsuna, inspired 100% by Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
Has very similar combat system. It has more of a shorter RPG. It was the first RPG developed by the new studio Tokyo RPG Factory by Square. I'm getting it for the Switch because I want a hard copy of it, because even if it isn't Chrono Trigger,
This is the closest we're going to get right now.
probably. Yeah, so you know what, guys? I think it's going to do it for us today on the episode. I know we went quite a while. I can't see that number. What is it?
223.
Dang! Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode,
Yes.
Tyler.
Appreciate it.
I hope you had a lot of fun.
I did.
I had a lot of cool conversation here about this backlog of games, the good Switch talk. Mike, thank you once again for always being on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of...
Sometimes I am not there.
Stuffing things.
Well, it's not very often that we have somebody new on the show that you're actually here for.
I know.
So.
And then what's funny is in the middle of it, the whole reason why I hardly ever get to be here with the host is work. And what happened?
Work.
Work
Came
happened.
a-calling.
Came a calling.
Well, I want to thank you guys for checking out this episode. No matter how you do it, man, we're on podcast services around the globe, such as iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. We're on Podchaser. You can check us out on Podcast Addict. Search us. You'll find us. Go to the GameAddictsPodcast.com. You can check out the website where all the episodes are posted. If you want to see our beautiful faces and some of the games we brought, check us out on YouTube. We're also on social medias, Facebook, and search Game Addicts Podcast. Game Addicts Play on Twitter, Game Addicts Podcast on Instagram, which I swear I'm going to post more there. I got behind. I've been really lazy about pushing us on social media. I'm sorry, that's me. All me, 100% me, because he doesn't do anything.
Because Mike doesn't like social media at all.
Backlog.
If you want to check out the podcast
That's
early
like
in
my
audio form.
massive backlog is you have a podcast that you post nothing about.
If you want to check out the podcast early, up to a week, check out the Journey to Comics Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Journey to Comics, where you can get every single episode of all the Journey to Comics Network podcasts up to a week early for $1, and then some extra content for $3 a month. It would really help us out to help us cover all of our hosting services and everything like that, and to help bring you more exclusive content and to help boost this show into the age of streaming, which will be happening at some point.
Right now, the last thing that's left is to buy a monitor. Another monitor so I don't have to move, that and to get the wife's computer up and running because she's using that one now.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's going to happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
I'm hoping Black Friday / Cyber Monday will propel my PC my super PC into being able to actually run, since I'm missing major pieces. So we might be able to do it then.
Well, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Till then, until next week, I've been Brando.
And I've been Mike.
I'm Tyler.
And we will see you then.